the times that were pure, and I'm not saying like just shoot whatever you see, but like to sit in a tree stand over a scrape
and
or a rub line, have no idea what's coming.
Yeah.
Like just daydreaming of that buck coming over the hill. And then when you see it, it's nothing that you dream, but like now you're in the moment and it's like, there he is, right? That feeling.
Yeah. Dude, here, can I one up you?
Yeah.
How about even seeing it and in hindsight realizing it was a 3-year-old that I killed? At the time, it was the biggest deer I'd ever seen in my life. I remember looking at that thing that I would look at now and be like,
Yeah.
Well,
that's what I'm saying.
But back then, I was like, "Oh my God, look at that thing!"
That's the purity or the time frame of being naive, right? Because that's what it was.
Yeah.
That I want back.
The Hunter Podcast is brought to you by Hoyt.
Should be no surprise to anyone listening to this that back with Hoyt another season. I'm actually going to be shooting the AX2 aluminum this year.
You traitor.
But you're still going RX9.
Yeah, blacked out as always.
Blacked out. Yeah. Big surprise for everyone.
80 pounds. Big surprise. Yeah.
But seriously, man, I mean, it shouldn't be a surprise to anyone. Every year, it seems like we get a new Hoyt bow in our hands, and they're always a step above the last and just a step above everybody else.
Yeah, they're so consistent, man. Just their processes get better, every year. And we've really been excited about, as we've grown with Hoyt, we've brought some others in with us. And we just feel like the Hoyt family is growing, like the community, and we're really excited about the people that are involved, excited to be a part of that company. And it's really awesome.
So for anyone that's excited about Hoyt, like Jared and I are, you can use the code HUNTER, HUNTR, on Hoyt.com.
Get serious, get Hoyt.
And we're back.
Hey.
Hunter Podcast, episode 309.
Did we discuss that?
I already...
310?
Huh?
309?
309.
All right.
I think.
I trust your math.
307 is Bobby. 8 was Peter.
309.
9.
9er. We made it.
And we have a guest today, but do your thing.
Cool. Well, hey, before we jump into it here, I will thank everybody for tuning in, whether you're listening on YouTube, Spotify, or Apple Podcasts. Those are the 3 main platforms that we drop these episodes on. We do that every Tuesday night at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. And if you give us a like, follow, subscribe on one of those channels, it will notify you when those drop. If you've written us on Instagram, DM, or the website, those are the 2 that we check the most frequently. Mm-hmm. Always a little bit of backlog or delay there, but we try to get back through them diligently. If you've bought some merch, we have some of that merch, I should say, on the Hunter website, and a lot of you guys have bought that stuff in the past. That's cool for us to see, and we appreciate you guys supporting us in that way.
I always love seeing merch in the environment.
It's fun. It's fun, out and about, Hunter in the wild.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And in the meantime, you guys can use code HUNTER, HUNTR, on any of our partners' websites for a discount in some way, shape, or form. So other than that, there we go.
I don't think I said it in the last one, but it's February 20-something, 6th or 7th.
Yeah, rounding it out here.
Almost in March. You're listening to this. It's in March at this point.
Yeah. 33 by the time this drops. Big 3-3.
Getting old, man. That's why your back's going out on you. It's age.
Probably not helping.
That'll happen. That will happen.
Probably not helping.
Fortunately, it's March. Means we're getting some work done on the farms. That's the hope.
Hopefully.
Shed hunting, hopefully.
We're due. Dude, by the time I get to the farm, it'll be well earned. We've been just grinding. They'll
be growing new antlers by the time you get there.
I know. Well, hopefully, I just hope they're not gnawed all to crap,
I couldn't believe that one that I found was like already, I mean, he had to have dropped it like within 48 hours of me finding that, and it was like, sons of bitches.
Some of them they get right on. I've found others that are a year old that are barely touched, I think some of them end up in trees.
Oh, yeah.
Because, big squirrels.
Yeah.
I found some
big old fox squirrels.
I found some in
dragging them up there
and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I got some big squirrels.
Mm-hmm. I think coyotes take them too.
What?
I think coyotes take them.
Yeah, they might.
I bet they do.
I found cows chewing on them and stuff.
Cows?
Like that. Yeah.
Wow.
Something to do with the calcium, probably.
Anyways, we've been talking. We were kind of on we got a little break there when we had our podcast, and we had Peter on from Illinois DNR, but from a habitat side, like we had Adam Keith on, and now we brought Erich Long back.
Yeah.
So
this is Eric's at least his second time, if not a third.
Wow.
I want to say it's third.
Repeat customer.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep. He's recovering from surgery as well, so can't make him laugh too much. He might rip a stitch or something.
Oh, did he get one for that
gallstone
thing?
Yeah.
I missed that earlier. I was putting together our chairs out there.
Yeah. And he quit chewing, so
don't test him.
Short fuse today, maybe. We'll have to see how that goes. But no, it'll be good conversation. Yeah, I can't remember the last time that we talked, how long ago that was, but from a habitat side, like we're in March.
I bet it's been 2 years, if you can believe that.
A lot of farm stuff going on, and I know him and Cody have been into a bunch of stuff here, and so yeah, figured it was a good time to rope him back in, and who knows where the discussion might lead.
Cool. Let's get into it.
Mr. Erich Long, welcome to the show again, apparently.
Happy to be back, my friends.
What is it? Is it number 2 or 3?
Man, I don't know. I think this might be 3.
I think so too.
Yeah. I want to say we had you and Cody together.
That sounds right.
Yep.
Then a you single.
Yep.
Yeah, but married. Single but married. And then
could be the third or fourth maybe.
Yeah.
Starting to approach like number 1 appearance.
Oh,
yeah.
On the frequency charts.
Yeah. You need your ratings up, so that's why you have me.
Yeah. We were feeling a dip here. I'm like, oh boy, what are we gonna bring
these
in?
numbers up?
Yeah. So, anyways, we're glad you made it. You survived surgery. Congratulations.
Yeah. Good times there. I highly recommend it.
Yeah. Seems like a rough cycle there that you went through, but
yeah, it's I was listening to you guys talk. It was my gallbladder, and it's I guess you don't know how much you need it until you don't have it.
Yeah. It's one of those things. It's like, what are the organs that you can live without?
Right.
Yeah.
Apparently gallbladder now's the fun stage of trying to figure out what you can eat and what you can't eat.
Oh wait, they removed the gallbladder?
Oh yeah.
Oh, so
it's gone.
You can live without it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, doesn't it regulates a bunch of your fats and stuff?
Yeah. Because right now, like I found out, like one of my favorite foods, eggs.
Yeah. No go.
Really?
Oh, Jared would just die.
I need my gallbladder.
Yeah, I think it's the yolk more than anything. Like I might as well eat it going to the bathroom.
That's my favorite part.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Makes you have to shit.
Dude, that's all I do.
Really?
Wow.
Eggs?
That's all you do.
I shit a lot.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Welcome to gallbladder.
I thought that was a good thing.
Today.
Wow.
I go at least once a day. Probably 2 or 3 times.
So like no fats at all, or just certain fats?
Yeah, like starting out.
Yeah.
This is on, I think, week maybe 2 or 3. I forget what it is. The 14th, I had it. February 14th, I had it on removed. So
Valentine's Day, what a
That's
gift!
right.
I know. I got out of it, man.
Yeah. You'll do anything.
Sorry, babe. Gallbladder's failing. Gotta go.
Gotta check that off the list. Can't use that one again.
Can't use that one again. Yeah, that's it. Maybe a kidney next time. We'll see.
Sure.
Got 2 of those still.
You can live without a kidney too, right?
Yes, you've got one. You need one.
You need
You
one.
need at least one.
Yeah.
One lung? You can live with.
Yeah, I would assume that's rough, but
You
yeah.
can live with one lung for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Boy,
No.
that's rough. Yeah, so I assume very bland diets out of the gate.
Yeah, in the beginning here until you just my life so far has been chicken.
Yep, chicken and rice.
I'm over chicken, dude.
and soups and stuff. And I did some pork chops the other day.
That's a bold.
You're crazy.
It's a bold move.
Yeah, that didn't seem to bother me too much. But
did you do any venison or anything yet?
No red meat for a while.
Really?
Yeah, that's my life, man.
Wow, no red meat, no eggs. Jared's just like, I died.
So what? What happens? What happens if you eat that stuff?
What's that?
What happens if you eat that stuff?
I think, well, your stomach's, what they said is like you're going to be nauseous and stuff, and your body's not ready for it, so you're going to be in the bathroom and
just not feeling good.
Listen, not to like it's a perfect segment, and we didn't plan this. Can I have that book real quick? So one of my buddies back in the day, do you remember Jason Herbert? Do you ever remember that name? He was an outdoor writer.
That name does sound familiar.
Did a lot of outdoor writing, and I did some Cabela stuff with him. So he wrote this book, which is called Never Trust a Fart. And it's literally true stories. Jason will love this. This was not a planned plug, by the way, Jason, but
Yeah.
true stories of grown men who have accidentally pooped their pants.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's a good chance that if you dabble in the wrong food,
It's going to happen.
It's going to happen.
Yeah.
So I honestly think, and maybe I'm giving Jason too much credit and he'll like it, but I think this is like a really good selling book right now. Like, I think somehow it like just caught on. I mean, how could it not? Never trust a fart. Like, we've all been there.
Oh, yeah.
And
no.
So anyways, that was not a planned plug, but perfect timing because he just sent us those the other day.
Yeah, they told me, like, when you walk into someplace, make sure you know where the bathrooms are.
Yeah.
It's like, okay.
Boy.
Yeah.
I assume, though, at some
chewing.
point your body adapts differently. Like, do your intestines, like, start to, just for the first.
Yeah, this is all in the beginning stages of it all, So it's just learning what you can do, what you can't do. I love ice cream. And the other day, I'm like, you know what? I can't have it chew. So I'm going to eat some ice cream.
Yeah.
And it was not a good idea.
No.
It's a lot of fat and ice cream.
I feel like I shit myself anyways with ice cream, so, and I have a gallbladder.
I'm getting depends. I'm just gonna walk around.
Yeah. Well, you like to live on the edge, so I mean,
let's do it.
you're gonna be one of those guys that like stares across the table at your wife and just like bites into a Slim Jim, and she's like, "What are you doing?" And you're like,
"Yeah,
playing with fire."
Playing with fire. Yeah, because my life is chew, Slim Jims, and iced tea.
Oh boy.
Disrupted big time.
Oh boy, that couldn't have like helped with getting to the gallbladder situation. Slim Jims and iced tea.
Just shut your mouth.
That's probably the reason for it, dude.
Yes, Slim Jim.
Is that why they call you Slim?
Yeah.
No,
Is it? Wait.
No, it's Stretch.
Oh, Stretch. Yeah. Forgive me.
Yeah.
Forgive me.
Yeah, I think Slim Jims were taken off the "you should eat these" list in like 1985.
We're gonna change your name to Slim.
He says you.
Yeah. So.
Oh, that hurts. Stop.
Yeah, see, that's what I said earlier. We can't make him laugh. He's gonna rip a stitch.
Oh, for heavens.
Well, so you're off work for a while, right? When do you go back?
Yeah. That's maybe that's why I feel really good.
Because you haven't had to work.
I bet. Did you switch careers?
This is how the other half lives.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Jeremy had me forward your invite to the Mossy Oak email.
No, he's been doing that.
Is that new, or you've been doing that?
No, I've been doing that for I think for 10 years now.
Okay.
I saw Cody made you a new video.
What's that?
Saw Cody made you a new video.
Oh yeah, man. He does. Yeah, I wrote that, recorded it, and actually it was funny. I recorded it like 3 days after my surgery. So if you listen to it, you can tell I'm like hurting. And then send it over to Cody, and he does his magic.
Well, you wanted that pain to come through
for that
in the
sympathy
in the script.
Spice up the Barry White voice.
I did refer somebody to you the other day. I can't remember who. I'll have to find it. But they're like, "Hey, do you know a real estate agent in Ohio?" I'm like, "Yeah, I do."
Yeah, he's not that good. But yeah, you can send it to him.
He's got a license.
What
So.
what counties are you in again, Eric?
Oh, from Lake Erie to Ohio River.
Like Erie to Ohio. So
That's all of them.
Lake Erie. So that's like northeastern Ohio then?
To the Ohio
No,
River,
the whole
which is
state.
down by me.
Oh, like the whole eastern side?
No, from east, we get every county in Ohio.
Oh, you cover every county. Well, I know you're licensed in the state of Ohio, but you'll travel the entire
So
state.
yeah.
Why? That's so much territory.
Well, got to make hay, man.
When somebody requests,
That's crazy, dude.
when somebody requests him, he'll be there.
That's crazy.
That's
We
right.
get calls from people like 2 hours east, and I'm like,
That's
I'll refer you to
Well,
somebody.
it's like
That's
I
a
got
stretch,
property
no
up in
pun intended.
Ashtabula. I got property up in Ashtabula. That's 3 hours away.
that's 3 hours from you.
Yeah,
Wow.
almost. Yeah.
Holy cow!
Yeah. Well, so what part of the state do you live in?
Coshocton.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, so you're central then, ish.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
Yeah. Yeah. But
Well, maybe if I don't sell my farm, you can sell it for me.
there you go.
I'm gonna
Get
sell
after
it. I'm selling it.
Yeah.
I'll do it. Don't push me. I'll do it.
That's right.
Well, okay, so you're off work for a while. And it's like there's things that it's March. Well, when people are listening to this, it's March. There's things that have to be done right now.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's I know in my world it's getting burn plans accomplished, getting stuff like that done. Ohio EPA permits, forestry waivers, and then the next step is, getting the fire breaks that we didn't get accomplished, finished up in the fall. Need to get those done. My world anymore is just that in the spring, it's not so much food plots and stuff. It's, fire.
Fire.
Yeah, we do a lot of fire anymore, man.
What's the hardest one for us? I mean, so Jared and I both have farms that are in the equip process here for a lot of different things. And, for a lot of it, we want to do burning, but it's like either number one, the restrictions around it are super steep, or number two is like you need like a burn boss. And I'm like,
yeah,
where do I find one of them?
Yeah, it's it's like the rules, obviously, whatever I say, do your own homework, disclaimer, but Division of Forestry puts out some rules, that you can go look up and stuff. Like, I know the clients that want to burn and stuff like that, you can burn after 6 o'clock, 6 p.m., during the burn ban, which is March, April, May.
Yep.
And, you got to call your fire department, sheriff's office, because they will get phone calls. I usually, for the burns that I don't do the burn plans for, that's what we do. I just call the sheriff's department. And the fire department usually on the same, same channel there. So tell them who you are, your address, and then, after you burn, just call them back and say, we don't need you. Everything went good.
Yeah.
But Division of Forestry does put out classes, and it's not, excuse me, it's not hard to take these classes. That's just things that I did. You get your standard burn certification, and then the next step is getting, becoming a burn boss and stuff like that. And all of it's just like 2-3 day classes that are they're fun. It's not dry, it's not boring. And,
if it's that easy, Eric, why does the state like not have any burn bosses? Like we've been talking to some of these equip guys, and we're like, because it's timber burns. You got to have a boss on site. You know what I mean? I think.
No,
go ahead.
No, actually, the burn during the middle of the day, you have to be a certified burn manager.
Okay, but not timber burns.
No, timber burns, prairie burns, they're all the same. It's just during the during burn
hours.
bans,
you
got to be a certified burn manager, develop a management plan, and go through EPA, get their blessing, and then forestry waiver to burn during any time of the day. Okay, so.
But other than that, so if we wanted to do a timber burn at 7 p.m. at night, we could do that without a burn boss?
Yeah, technically you can.
Really?
But again, that's.
Do your own research.
Do your own homework.
Yeah.
I already lit a fire while we were sitting here.
I could be misremembering. My wife tells me I have bad memory, but I thought it was the equip guy that told me like to do a timber burn, you have to have a burn boss on site. And
maybe during those specific hours.
It
and
could
stuff.
be because we've done some burns in the past. It was during the burn ban, but it was after 6 o'clock. You get like a 6 to 8 window where there's enough time there. It was old pasture stuff that we were burning, and I told him about that, and he's like, "Nope, can't do that. You got to have a permit or something." I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm almost positive. Like I said, not to repeat myself, I'm just making sure no one burns and blames Eric for it.
Yep. Disclaimer.
Well, no, dude, that's a big deal. Let's talk. I'm happy to talk about fire for as long as you want, because like burning in Ohio seems like it's difficult to achieve. Like there's a lot of restrictions in place, and like there's no burn bosses available. Like it seems challenging.
Would you say it's the most underutilized tool, Eric?
Oh my gosh,
Ohio,
fire is just incredible, man.
Yeah,
and it's man, fire is just. I've been burning for a very long time, almost 30 years, and every time I do a burn, especially when my name's on the burn plan and I'm the one in charge, and I light the drip torch, and I'm the one that starts it. My butt's puckered.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because anything could go wrong.
Yeah.
You do the checklist, you go over everything. I'm very anal about it. Like, I'm nervous. And like I said, I do it all the time. I burn, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of acres, and I still get nervous, So it's that uncomfortable feeling of wildlife management, man. It's like when a logging crew shows up in your place, it's like, well, can't put it back.
Can't put it back.
You know?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
fire's
Same thing with
intimidating,
fire.
man. It's
What's that?
fire's intimidating. You know, anybody
it's
that's
very intimidating.
been around it and seen it, especially like, you know, if you think about like a little mellow timber burn, that's one thing, but all of a sudden you hit a snag and it starts going up, like there is no control. Like it's panic for a lot of people.
Yeah, I mean, I was on a burn last year, and we had great fire breaks, the whole 9 yards. I mean, everything from top to bottom was zipped up,
Mm-hmm.
and it was funny. We were getting ready to go start the fire, and I asked, like, "Hey, did anybody fire up the chainsaws and leaf blowers before we go?" And they were like, you know.
Mhm.
Yeah, and I was like, no, let's do that. You know, just let's fire these things up. And we had a spark jump over the line. Next thing you know, we're burning woods, man. We are burning, and it went up this big old oak tree, and it's probably the most badass thing I've ever done. We got the fire put out first before the tree, and it was like the DBH on it is just incredible, and the bar length couldn't even go through it, and I had
Dang.
someone spraying me down, spraying the saw down, and I'm cutting this thing, you know, down and stuff. But the moral why I told you this is because it's so easy when that type of stuff happens, if you're not trained, or better yet, just calm.
Yeah.
Like, you can't panic. You just use common sense. What do we need to address first? And do we need to call the fire department right away? Is this something that we can take care of? Do we have the tools to put this out? All this stuff, you know? And now timber burns, like you said, is a lot different if something was to go awry, because it's not California wildfire.
Right,
you know?
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can get this accomplished. Snags, like you said, you know, Jared, you know, things can, or, you know, things can torch out and stuff. But warm season grass is like a solid monoculture of switchgrass. You're not
Gone.
putting that out, bros.
No.
You're not. No, that's a living, breathing animal right there, that I've seen it lick. You know, 2 o'clock in the day, the relative humidity is practically nothing, and it's licking power line, you know, telephone pole wires.
Oh.
You know, 20-foot licks,
Mm.
and you got this 6-foot fire break.
Yeah.
That's living right there, bro.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, Eric, I was going to ask you a question first, and then I want to get into, like, maybe we can drill down more on some of the process for burning, because I think it'll be helpful. You said you're on these burns, or you're writing the plans for them. Are these for, like, consulting clients of yours, or what's? Yeah.
Well, both. Yeah, the state, which I can't really get into too much, but yeah, let's just use my clients. Yeah, so I got a client that he's got, I think, 200 something acres. We got like a 24-acre burn that we're going to be doing.
Okay.
So I'll just use the same process. You know, you submit, you go to Ohio. In Ohio, you go to Ohio Division of Forestry, and you fill out their waiver forms. It's just real simple forms that you fill out online, and it goes directly to them. And then they'll send you an email saying, you know, thumbs up, thumbs down. And then the next step that I have to go through is Ohio EPA, and that is smoke pollution. You know, so I have to draw maps out and show where smoke dispersion is going to be. You know, the fire department, the phone numbers, the chiefs. You know, it's all easy stuff. It's just paperwork.
Okay.
It's very easy.
Okay.
None of it's hard whatsoever. And then, you know, I develop a management burn plan. That way, if something was to go awry, when I'm getting sued, I can at least tell the court.
Well, we had a plan.
Yeah, we had a burn plan.
The fire didn't behave like the plan.
Says
But
here, the fire's not supposed to jump the breaker, is what it says.
Yeah. So you just, you know, and that's to go back to answer your question. I know we're kind of jumping around. Why isn't there a lot of burn bosses, a lot of stuff? And it's all liability, man.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I would do it for clients all the time, but
Well,
you're starting it.
dude, my dad makes a good point. Like, he, for some reason, is terrified. I think it comes from my mom for some reason.
Yeah.
Like, they just got a fret about him. And his point is, like, would you burn that person's house down? Like, yeah, that would be bad.
That'd be bad.
That would not be.
It's not encouraged.
Oh no, dude, it is. It's like I said. It's I've done one burn for a client before that. it's like I didn't go out there and inspect his fire break.
Mm-hmm.
And when I asked him, I was like, is it good? Are you sure? And he's like, yeah, come on out. We're ready. I'm like, okay. So I got out there, and I forget, I think it was 11 acres, maybe a little bit more, of a warm season grass field.
Mm-hmm.
And the fire break was nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So basically we were there. So we had a wet line the whole thing.
Ugh.
And wet lining is there's no dirt. So you're burning and then watering behind it.
Right.
And it's so time consuming, and it's very dangerous if you don't know what you're doing,
Mm-hmm.
you know? So, but yeah, the whole process and stuff, it's very, like I said, fire is just absolutely incredible. And we need it more on the landscape. And the problem is like what we're discussing is having qualified people to be able to do it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like all these programs encourage people to plant pollinators. Well, fire is a management tool for pollinators.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if you don't burn them, they're not going to last that long because you're putting more chemical, you're mowing, you're creating, the longevity of the stand is not going to be great.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's just a lack of, I think, familiarity, or it makes people nervous. You know, it's just not like a culture in Ohio of burning like it might be in Kansas or maybe some other Midwestern places. We're just not as comfortable with it.
Well, it's more dense. A lot of those areas are just more densely populated too. It's like I can see houses here, here. Whereas like in Kansas, like there may be nothing.
That's
like you don't want it to get out of control, but there's also nothing there.
Yeah. So Eric,
we burnt.
Go ahead.
We burnt in Kansas last year.
Mm-hmm.
We burned 200 acres, and it was just two of us.
Mm-hmm.
And that was on my bucket list to do true prairie burn.
Yeah.
You know, and I got the phone call, went out there, and spent one day. Flew out there. Woke up in the morning, started at 7, and I forget, you have to quit like a half hour before sunset, maybe, because if it gets too dark, the fire departments, if something was to go right, they can't see fences and all that stuff. So we burnt 200 acres, just the two of us, two guys that know what they're doing, and not to be arrogant, but we got a lot accomplished.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Was it one chunk, or did you break it up into multiple sections?
Multiple chunks. And stuff. Yeah, 40 acres. In size, some of them and stuff. One was a mile long.
Damn.
Yeah. It was intense.
We took on a pretty decent chunk a couple of years ago. I don't know what the total acreage was that we did there, but probably
10.
Oh, at least.
Yeah.
At least.
Hey, 10 acres is that's a lot.
Yeah,
it really is.
It was old, cool season pasture grass, like that's what it was, and we were trying. Truthfully, the project didn't end. I should say it's ongoing. It's like what we did was we sprayed in like October, November, to try to kill the cool seasons out of like an old pasture is what it was. And then we went in and burned it to try to get rid of the thatch to try to promote like new successional stuff. And I think where we missed the ball was we didn't spray it again the following year. Like more cool seasons came back, and then they've persisted, and that's kind of like we're back in that state again. But we did burn it, and we, successfully. There was a couple, like you said, butt puckered kind of situations where we're like, oh boy, like when the wind will switch on you, or I mean, dude, it's very like you got to read the fire. I've found. I mean, obviously you want to have the brakes put in as best as you can, but it matters where and when you start the lines.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, weather. Especially for the person that doesn't have the certification, so you're burning after 6 o'clock. Your relative humidity is, you try to get to closer to 6 as you can, because that dampness will affect. It's amazing how certain percentages, as it goes up, even by 1 or 2%, will really lessen the heat. What's the word I'm looking for?
Intensity.
Yes, thank you. Of the what you're trying to burn. So then instead of getting an effective burn, you're just burning duff. You're not affecting trying to kill some woody debris and everything. And wind, obviously, starting the fire. And one thing that I see quite a bit, and this is being ticky-tack, I hear myself, but we're all supposed to be air quote conservationists, and you see online people are burning just to burn so they can post about it. And I'm being,
sure,
dramatic, of course. But at the same time, they're ringing it.
Yeah.
They're just ringing it. And it's like, dude, you got wildlife in that burn. you got it. You don't have to ring it. You got leave, 10, 15, 20 yards so wildlife can get out of there,
Yeah,
rabbits,
escape out of there.
etc. You don't have to ring it, man. You don't.
When you say
People
ring it,
do.
you're talking about connecting the flame all the way around.
Connecting it. You don't try not to do that. Try not to do that. And again, it's just being ticky-tack, but it's about wildlife, man. So
the Hunter Podcast is brought to you by Predator Camo.
Man, this one feels good, right? I know people have been looking at this picture over your shoulder for a while now. I think that was 2018, but we just, over the last, how many years, keep coming back to Predator Camo because it's been so damn good for us.
No doubt. I think we bought our first set off of Jen at the Archer Trade Show almost 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And Jen's still with the company, and the patterns have, only improved since then. They actually were recently acquired within the past couple of years. We've had a chance this past year to go and meet with new ownership, talk about redesigning a lot of the old lines, plans for new patterns, all of the above. So really excited about what's to come, not only this coming year, but in years to come. There's a lot of good stuff coming from Predator.
Yeah, and I mean, for us, it's always been going back to that breakup pattern, right? That's the historic look, whether you're talking about the spring greens or brown deceptions or fall grays.
Yeah.
I mean, that breakup is really what's been so powerful for us in a tree stand. And right now, they're letting anyone use the code HUNTER on the Predator Camo website and get 20% off any of the lines, including all the new stuff that dropped here in July.
Be the Predator.
Well, what about like some of these timber burns? Like if you're thinking about like a bigger timber, like contiguous piece, right? Like to me, because that's what I deal with a lot, like where I would say are easy natural breaks don't always exist, right? It's not like I have a field edge here where I can diss the hell out of it and start it or end it there or something. Like it's maybe logging roads are the best quote breaks I've got. I know back burns obviously are a big part of that, right? Just to eat that area up and really establish that, but and blowers. But yeah, that's a big part of, I think, what a lot of people are dealing with is like, especially as we're talking about timber stand improvement and opening up canopy, it's like, how do I eat this leaf litter up in a safe burn scenario?
What's your question about how to put breaks in?
Yeah, just like what are you doing primarily for breaks? Like what are you trying to identify or is it back burn, establishment?
Yeah, it's, fire breaks, man.
Yeah.
It's just I can't emphasize this enough. Your breaks can't be big enough.
Yep.
And still one little spark,
Yeah.
one little spark can just ruin your whole day.
Yeah.
But I've seen really intense fires stop at a deer run at the same time.
Yeah.
It's like, what?
What would you say?
Funny.
What would you say, Eric, is like a minimum? You say like no less, and it probably varies by fuel type, but
yeah, it does vary by fuel type. But warm season grasses, I can't make them big enough.
Yeah, that makes
try to
complete
follow
sense.
me with the warm season grasses. So, fortunate enough to have when I do my burns or whatever, a bat wing. So you got 10, 12, okay.
Yep.
Foot, and then we'll take the 8-foot disc.
Yep.
And disc the hell out of it, so it's really dirt. But then I take half of the bat wing and I create low fuel. So you have high fuel, low fuel, just a couple feet.
Yep. Then dirt.
And then dirt.
Yep.
So you got maybe 4 foot,
that makes sense.
5 foot of low, medium,
low intensity type stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, we were burning, 6 foot, 7 foot switchgrass to dirt, and it's like that's not.
No, that's when it can jump.
That's not good, So we purposely mow even more into it, and it's still doing its job. It's still burning. It's still being effective and stuff like that. So don't think of it as wasted space. But woodland burns, it's like, logging roads, you're looking at 4 to 6 feet, and
blowing that with like a backpack.
I'm sorry?
Blowing it with like a backpack just to like clear it?
Yeah. It all depends, and especially the weather, the situations, because most of your woodland burns, especially in like Ohio, they're not intense.
No.
They're not a California burn, mega fire.
No.
But the biggest thing, not to get on this soapbox, but why are you burning your woods?
Yeah.
Because is it in wildlife management, it seems like everything is in fads. And I don't want to offend anybody. That's not my intention. But if you're not logging, if you didn't log your woods or have intentions to log your woods, you're just burning leaf litter and pissing your neighbor off from all the smoke.
So I would assume that like most of our discussion has been around burning the leaf litter in preparation of opening the canopy?
Well, multifaceted here too. So the timber burns that we've talked about, it would be clearing leaf litter,
Invasives.
yeah, like setting back invasives, getting multiflora especially to a point where it can be sprayed more easily with the intention to either log or do
Open
some sort of
canopy.
tree.
Yeah,
tree
that's why I
removal.
said if you have intentions on logging,
Yep.
But not just logging, right, Eric? Also just any cull tree removal, crop tree release.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, if you're not planning on managing the woods.
Yeah, there you
How about
go.
we say that?
There you
Okay.
go. That's
Whether
perfect.
it's invasive control,
Yep.
etc.
If you're
why
just
are you burning it?
burning leaf litter to burn leaf litter, that's not doing
I mean,
anything.
that leaf litter, not to get all, non-consumptive on you, but that leaf litter is very important for wildlife.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
like 70 species that depend on that dead leaf litter.
Yep.
And just to burn it, just to do a reel, what are we doing?
Right.
But if your intent is to manage, to do invasive control, because, Jerry, like you're right. I mean, it's a lot easier to move around, right?
Mm-hmm.
Easier to see, you can get down to the, the butt of things, etc.
Well,
Yeah,
maybe
so-
you tell us, Eric. I didn't know there was that many species that depended on the leaf litter.
Like salamanders and stuff.
Sure. The
Yeah,
sallies.
moss,
yeah.
and there's caterpillars, there's moss, and all that stuff that depends on. I know it sounds insignificant, but those
No.
species are very important
Yeah.
to the whole ecosystem.
Assume there's a level of soil moisture that's being retained there.
100%.
Absolutely. And then another thing you have is that, let me think about it here. Give me 2 seconds here. Like there is actually more species, if I remember this right, there's more species below ground than there is above ground.
Would make sense.
It's like a million, and I don't even know what a nematode is. So
yep,
I'm not gonna try to-
nematodes. Mhm.
Yeah, there's more, like a million nematodes per
arthropods
square
or
foot.
anthropods or whatever we call
Yeah.
them.
So there's all that life is dependent on leaf litter and all this other stuff.
Right.
Again, I know it comes off non-consumptive and all this
Makes
stuff
sense.
and, bleeding heart, but at the same time, that's why it's like I see burns. It's like if you're just burning to burn, man, that's something could have went wrong and why.
Yeah.
You didn't have to do that. But if you're doing any type of management, hell yeah, man, fire is awesome.
So you do think it's still worth burning if you're planning on managing the timber and stuff? It's like, even though you're potentially damaging some of those species and stuff, that's it's worth a while.
It's always for the greater good. When you do management, it's always for the greater good.
Okay.
You might kill a box turtle doing this, but it's for the greater good of all box turtles.
See, I think in my mind, I was like, and you can correct me if I'm wrong here, but like in my mind, it was removing the leaf litter so that when you remove forest canopy, the sunlight can hit the dirt directly, and so we can have better regeneration.
Yeah, I mean there is that at play, obviously, but
again, useless if you're not cutting the trees. I mean, I'm just trying to validate your point.
That's the thing. You're seeing a lot of people burn, and it's like they're just
burn because they think that's the cool thing.
Actually, and sometimes they're killing. They don't go into and that's one thing. If you guys are going to do that burn, you make sure that you walk that site and get debris off your oaks. Get debris because that fire can get so intense. It's not so much it could climb. It's that the intensity of the heat can really affect that bark area. Or Jeremy, what's the that cambium
layer. Yeah.
Yeah, you can really. I mean, I've done burns where it was so intense,
scorched it.
You went in there, and it was basically a clear cut the next year.
Yeah, baked it.
Let me ask you this: are you doing like lighting a head flame to go through a timber burn? And if so, why? Why not just a backing burn all the way through?
Yeah, we do mostly back burns.
Okay.
Mostly back burns. Before we start to ring it or doing any flank type stuff on forest burns.
Okay.
And I'm gonna be honest, I don't do a whole heck of a lot of forest burns. So. I really haven't had the opportunity to do, tons of them like I do warm season grass fields. So
let me ask you this: timber or open? I don't think it matters. Would you prioritize wind direction or what I say topography, slope of the land? So like a situation that's always confused me is like if you've got a prevailing west wind, so you want to start a backing flame on the eastern side, but the slope is increasing from east to west.
Yeah, topography does have a lot to do with it, but we don't have the topography that's like out west where topography is everything. You got to know topography. You got to be able to read the fire, what that topography is going to make that flame intensity, everything do. Ohio, not so much.
No.
I mean, it's not that it doesn't play into it, Jared, but it's not necessarily a big concern. It's something that you keep an eye on, and that's where radio communication with other people, whether it's cell phone or actual radios, where, hey, Jared, you need to speed it up a little bit.
Yeah. See, burning uphill has always scared me. I haven't done nearly as much burning as you have, but
yeah.
Just watching it, I'm like, boy, it seems to burn about twice as fast uphill as it does downhill, regardless of wind speed or direction.
Yeah, because you figure, the flame, here's the slope. It's heating that up, drying that stuff up that's ahead of it, Wind direction's the big thing.
Okay.
Relative humidity. Like when I go to a fire or I'm burning, I'm thinking relative humidity, what's my wind speed, constantly, always checking that. And I got a little tool, but it's common sense. You're talking to everybody. Do you feel like it's blowing harder? What's it doing? Constantly big thing is communication on the fire line. And with communication, you can get so much accomplished safely and everything.
And with that, just people, I think man, like people. I know guys, and I mean, not to put you on the spot, Jeremy, you're talking. Well, I saw Winky last year burn like by himself. I'm like, what are you doing? Like I just like
burning up the hill,
burn uphill. Like I can't imagine burning anything by myself. I mean, unless it was like,
small,
a very well
rings.
established type thing. Like, you just need people to watch your back, basically. Make sure hey, if I leave this section here, make sure this doesn't jump. Until it's far enough in, kind of thing. And
it's like when I burned down at Cody's, in Virginia. That's a different topography's huge there.
Yeah,
obviously, and those clear cuts that we burn, every year, in a patchwork type of thing. Man, it's just. Especially burning a clear cut, whether you're going in and burning where they logged. That is hard work.
Yeah.
Number one, because after it goes through, you're putting out spot fires, or not spot fires, but dead snags. You're chainsawing.
Just hot spots.
You're working harder than actually doing the burn itself. And I know when I started going down there to Virginia to help Cody burn and get him going, now he doesn't need me at all, but I was a wreck.
Yeah,
I didn't show it, but I was like, I wanted to throw up.
Yeah,
because it was like, man, this is not okay. You can talk a big game, but one spark and we're burning a mountainside.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
it's nerve-wracking.
I guess, Eric, like thinking about it on the timber side, like the prairie or warm season grass manipulation and management, like that makes complete sense. I think a lot of people listening to this on a timber stand improvement side are basically saying like, okay, let's say we're in March right now, and they're like, I'm going to open up canopy. It's done deal. Whether I'm trying to promote new browse, or I think I'm going to do a hard cut here, that it's going to be like a small bedding area or whatever. I think the question becomes, as they look at these sites, do I need to burn for this site to be successful?
There you go.
That's the question. And so I guess I'm asking that to you is like, in most cases, from a timber purely standpoint, if they're going to open up canopy and sunlight, do they really need to burn? And I guess aside from that, is it going to just amplify the results? Or is it like, hey, maybe sometimes it's not worth the stress and the possibility of getting a bad result from?
That is the magic.
Yeah.
That is the magic question there. Like, what is the answer to that? Because it's per manager. What are they comfortable doing? What are they, the knowledge?
Yep.
It's per site.
Yep.
What facing slope it is, soils.
Yep.
Sometimes fire, moves things along quicker.
Yep.
In the sense of establishment, but like in Ohio, do you need to do that?
Yeah.
I mean, clear cuts are being created high stem densities all the time without fire.
Mm-hmm.
You know, what does fire bring to the table, Brian? Fire brings a lot to the table. It helps you with invasive control.
Yep.
It helps you stimulate growth. But at the same time, can we accomplish those things just by letting nature take its time and do its thing? Yeah. And then going in there with chemical,
Yeah.
you know, if you put this way, burning a warm season grass field versus woods always makes me more nervous because you are affecting value. If it goes on someone else's land,
Oh yeah.
you are affecting, someone's timber value.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, man, there's just so much that can go wrong with timber, even though it's not very intense. Smoke, one thing that no one discusses a lot when it comes to controlled burning is smoke control. That's why the EPA, when I do a burn plan, they have their hands in it. And you can criticize them all you want, but it is still a very important tool. Where is your smoke, man? Because I've done burns where the fire shifted, and I don't know how the people in the house were alive. I mean, I'm surprised I did not get a bill that they needed to have a company come in and clean their house.
Just that much smoke rolling through.
You couldn't see through it.
Wow.
I mean, and I remember going over there, and thank God they were so understanding.
Yeah.
And all it was a wind shift, man.
Yeah.
And it was like, oh my God. So smoke is what is your smoke doing? And then we talk about lifting heights, and that's important. Like when you do a burn, whether it's woodland or especially open, warm season grass fields, that mixing height, and then what that is that heat, that smoke is going up. It's like in my burn plane, it has to be, and I forget what it is. Maybe I'm just making up a number, 1,500 feet. If I burn and it's not doing that, I got to shut the burn down. But if you're just common Joe, that's doing it after 6 o'clock and stuff like that, if you want to continue burning, put this way, is it worth not burning that to keep your neighbors happy, or burning it correctly to where your neighbors get used to you burning, where they accept it? Did that make sense?
Yeah.
Like, why do it wrong and piss your neighbors off, where the next time you burn, they're on edge?
Yeah.
They're waiting for an excuse to screw you over, call the fire department on you. So is it worth burning, when you have neighbors like that? I mean, who knows? So there's a lot of factors. Factors. That might be rambling, but
no, I think that's
that I think about.
Well, I think it's just been, and I mean, we just talked about how it's like one of the most underutilized tools. So all of us have probably cut or done timber stand improvement and seen results without it. I think it's just, we also sit there and like, in my farm in particular, like I'll look and I'm like, man, I got a foot of leaf litter, like almost like what I feel is choking out potential, I guess is the best way to look at it.
Yeah.
And so again, I'm not sitting there to say, well, I'm going to burn this off every year, but hell, that probably hasn't seen fire in 100 years, or more. So it's like,
and that's some.
Yeah. So there's definitely a thought process there of like, how much better could it be if I remove that leaf litter prior to opening up the canopy?
Yeah, and to answer your question, it's all, again, it's all site specific and what you're capable of.
Yeah,
Jeremy. So it's like,
I'm not capable of anything. So,
well, I mean, in your case, if you do go through the checklist and everything is checked off, hell, do it.
Yeah.
Why not? And again, it goes back to like, why are you just burning the burn leaf litter? But it's, and I combated that with, hey, there's species in there that,
Sure.
you're not betting, you're not doing good. But at the same time, I was being a hypocrite saying we're killing X species now for the better good of the rest of the thing. So,
right.
Yeah. I mean, let's light it, man. Let's do it.
Well, and I mean, I think the thought process for most people, and it might be different, is like, I want to, let's say it's 3 or 4 acres, right? And I'm in the midst of 40, right? I'm looking at burn this section, manage this section, understand what I did, and then maybe next year or 2 years from now do another section or a bigger section. It's like, right, it's that checkerboard mindset that we've heard so long, but it's to stagger the regeneration that you've got there, right? So that you're able to mimic that and manage it differently, and it's going to benefit different wildlife species at different times by doing that. So yeah, I think it's just trying to have that mindset around it.
And fire, and the thing is, like, fire is such an inexpensive tool.
Well, I think that's the other thing.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like at Cody's place, we burn those clear cuts and stuff to get some old field component going. And then now that we're really digging into the grouse management stuff, we're going to be going in there and, doing some burns in his woodlands too, to, setback species and stuff that have that thin cambium layer, and the poplar species. And it's regenerating.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you have purpose and stuff like that, man, use it, just be wise about it.
Yeah. I think you're talking about, is it necessary earlier? I think a large percentage of prescribed, like guys that are actually lighting fires like that, are like switchgrass pockets.
Yep.
That a lot of them I don't think are necessary. I think it's like a burn.
Well,
they burn just to burn kind of thing, where I think a chemical would be probably more effective.
Well, let me actually address that, if you don't mind. It's like solid. We learn now that solid monoculture of switchgrass is not good for wildlife.
No bueno. Yeah.
But we only know what we know when we planted it, right? We set that thing at 10 to 12 pounds per acre, and we've just planted the hell out of it, right?
Yep.
Now we know that it's not good. So guys are going in there, and managers alike, going in there and they're burning it. And actually, they're doing a dormant season burn, which is, March, April, or middle of April. And all that is promoting more solid monoculture of switchgrass. So if you have a solid monoculture of switchgrass, you want to burn during a fall burn.
Right.
They get more stemming, and who wants to do that, right? Because you're hurting your hunting, you're hurting your hunting habitat, all that stuff. But so yeah, people are burning and doing it incorrectly if you're trying to, like, your switchgrass is too thick.
Yeah.
Well, burning it is just going to make it thicker.
Can I give you a situation, Eric? We'll get your diagnosis on this. So Jeremy and I bought a farm in Illinois a couple of years ago, and it's got like roughly 50 acres, I think, in CRP contract. And there's one big bottom field that we noticed early on had some pretty good, warm season grass. A lot of big blue in there. Some other, not so much switchgrass, but big blue, baby blue. There's
Indian grass.
Indian grass.
So we noticed some of that stuff was in there. We're like, hey, I think there's enough here to manage for. So what we did is that field, along with quite a few of the others, frankly, we just kind of used that as like the template. We went in and had the co-op spray with Gly and like a crop oil sometime between March 15th and April 15th, when cool seasons were popping. We were trying to kill the cool seasons out of the warm season stand and promote warm season growth. And it did astounding. Like from one year to the next, I think it went from 3-4 foot to 6-7 foot, and the warm seasons took off. They did awesome. We're going to do the same thing this year, so like happy with that. But some of the other fields that we sprayed did not have as much existing warm seasons in them, because when we sprayed them, they just kind of like didn't really do anything. They just kind of fizzled out.
Yeah, maybe put some goldenrod or something on, like just some annual type stuff.
Yeah, a couple of broadleaves popped and stuff like that. So we're in a situation where, I think we're happy with that bottom field. We're going to spray that again and expect, good things to happen there. But those other fields, we're like, boy, do they need replanted kind of a thing, And if so, how far back do we take it? Can we just go and drill switch? Like, can we spray mid-March to mid-April and go and drill switch sometime before, June, July, and just expect that to offset what's in there? Or what do you think on that?
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of options, to be honest with you. If it was mine, what would I do? I would, again, if it was feasible and I could at least try to get it accomplished, obviously fire.
Yep.
You would.
Okay, fire on a stand that's somewhat struggling, dude. Good stuff. And then if you're looking for warm season grasses, that all that stuff is, especially like in Illinois. I don't know where Illinois you are, but
West Central.
Illinois. What's that?
West Central.
West Central. So that part of the Illinois, if I remember correctly, was a very large, in the prairie aspect.
Absolutely
of
was.
things, historically. So all that stuff it's in the soil. So it just needs, and I know I would love to burn it, and then I would go in there, and I don't know if Illinois, you can use this herbicide in Illinois, and it's called Plateau.
I think you can.
We can.
Yes. Okay,
Yes.
so if you can use that now, Plateau is, I believe, you got to have a herbicide license,
Which we have somebody to spray. We use the co-op
Spray
to
it?
spray it. Mhm.
Yeah, I would, go in there and just, less is more in
Yep.
this scenario, because you're just putting your toe in the water. Maybe 3 or 4 ounces per acre, something like that. And don't quote me on that, but read the label disclaimer.
Yep. Yep.
Go in there and spray, and you will be amazed what will turn out.
Just because of what's in the seed bed.
Yes, what's in the seed bed, especially in that part of the world.
What is the active ingredient in that?
In Plateau.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm sorry. I don't
Or
know
what
that
does it
answer.
do? What are you targeting
Well,
with that?
it's a herbicide. I try to keep it simple. It's a herbicide for prairies, man.
Okay.
Yeah, so probably cool seasons, keeps under control, maybe some broadleafs.
Yeah, it's great for pollinators type, and not all pollinators are plateau resistant, but like your coneflowers, your little blue stem, all your true prairie grasses.
True prairie grass.
Switchgrass, it'll nuke. It'll stun it back.
Interesting.
Yeah, it will stun it back. Won't necessarily kill it if you use a high percentage. It will.
Yeah, it'll nuke it.
Well, here. So it says for liability and versatility, nothing beats Plateau. This is from their website, I guess. Provides long-term suppression of common roadside grasses like tall fescue, Bahia grass, and smooth brome grass, as well as invasive and noxious species like cheatgrass and leafy spurge.
Yeah.
Plateau also helps release and establish native grasses and wildflowers. And fall applications of Plateau helps effectively control cheatgrass, and a primary source of major fires in the West each year. So when do you spray this?
I think there's a window there, especially if you guys had the opportunity to burn it, so that way it's a blank slate.
Yep.
Yeah. So basically, when it starts to, I think you can use it as a pre-emergent. I never have. But
so you basically would burn, let some stuff green up, and then
go in there,
smash it.
So you're just banking on there being warm season species in the soil, because that was our fear, or the problem was they didn't really seem to pop when.
But who knows what's suppressing it? I guess.
Exactly. And doing it this way, if it doesn't go, then it's just not there, and then spend the money on the grasses. Because that stuff ain't cheap, try to do it natural, especially in a state like Illinois, it's amazing, those warm season grasses, especially the true warm season grasses.
Yeah.
That, like we had a stand of big blue stem, solid monoculture of big blue. And, for some reason, somebody made the decision that they were going to crop it. Now that big blue stand was like 6-7 years old. Okay. They got rid of it, tilled it under, planted corn for I think 3 or 4 years, and guess what's growing in there?
Yeah,
blue stem.
Big blue.
Yeah,
we had a stand of switchgrass that was probably the same age, 6, 7, 8 years old. The co-op farmer didn't read his map correctly, went in there and sprayed Gly, killed it. We're like, oh my God, what are we doing? Next year, best stand in the whole world.
Yeah, we had that kind of happen to us.
Yeah. When did he spray it?
I forget when it was. It was almost a seed head.
Yeah.
Wow.
That
switch is pretty resilient.
We had a stand that
that's a pain in the ass.
We sprayed and just inadvertently we put a plot in next to it, and then just some of the area we didn't plant, so it was just we nuked it. And for a year it was the best switchgrass on the entire farm. We're like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
When would you burn those fields that we're talking about?
Well, try to do it, from now till I usually cut off my burning usually mid-April.
Yeah.
Because of wildlife nesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
we'll be there. I don't know if you want to try that. when we have the tools to do it, we've got to.
Those are the fields that I'm like, fire's still intimidating, and especially that because there's a lot of fuel there, but it's like most of that's pancake flat. We can do in a giant burn ring around it basically with our disc, right? Break, and it's like it can go somewhere, right? But it's like it's as controlled of a scenario as you get.
Yeah, and that's something too. It's like if you guys don't get it burnt, you can go in there and lightly disc that whole field to promote. You're basically being buffalo hooves, cattle hooves. Doing that, which will encourage more, beneficial broadleaves like goldenrods and stuff like that more than grasses. But then at least it's killing that dead fodder, opening up. So when you do a herbicide, that herbicide is getting in there. And then one thing about plateau is that if you got, you don't want to spray plateau near a wetland, a creek, because the stuff does travel a little bit. So be cognizant of that. It might travel on you. So
yeah. Well, and a lot of the things, and I get it from reason, but anybody that's in CRP, there's obviously maintenance that is built into your program, and it could be fire, it could be chemical, or it could be mowing, mechanical. And our farmer had chose mechanical for everything. So in a lot of those fields, it's like there's just years of mowed thatch, right? That's just there. And like, again, that's the stuff where I'm like, boy, I would love to burn that off, And again, not every year, but like one time, just clear it. And then like our newest contract, which is just a buffer program, but like we did, instead of burn, we did chemical on that, right? Because it's just a buffer program. Yeah. So I'm like, I'm not going to burn this. I'm just going to chemical treat
We just switched that actually.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, those are the things that, and again, it's hard because I think that there's plenty of people I know listening to this that are like, I want to, right? I want to do it, but fire's intimidating. Maybe
it's work. I mean, dude, for us to go and burn, I mean, I don't even know if you're considering the lower field, but just, even if we just did the upper field
field's a big one,
and the back field, that would take us all day.
Oh yeah.
And those fields are where in Illinois?
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the other one's just the
Eric's
small.
like, how do I get there?
The small.
I know, that's what I'm talking. My brain. Like,
you want to come? Hey, you can come shed hunt with us if you want. My dad and is maybe going to come too. So
yeah, and the small timber ones are the other one where it's like, I don't know, like maybe you go in and open an area. The problem is once you put that to what you were talking about with Cody is like, there's definitely places where it's like, okay, you could cut and open up canopy, but if you don't get the result and then you want to burn, now you got all this slash basically on the ground, and you're gonna have hot spots, and you're gonna have a lot more work cut out for you than if you're just clearing around trees and then burning through.
Yeah, because one clear cut that we burn, I think it's, God, I wish he was on. He would tell you. I think maybe 4 years of burning, and it's still there was so much slash that we're still like each year like, okay, it'll be less next year.
Not so much.
It's just, oh my God, at the work.
What's the goal, Eric? What are you trying to achieve by burning that clear cut?
We're just trying to stimulate, just get more, kill back woody, try to create old field environments,
where once was like essentially a forest.
Yes. Yeah. We're just trying to diversify the property because he does have quail, on his place. I never met a person that had deer, turkey, bear, etc., quail and grouse.
Wow.
On a piece of property. Come on now.
That's crazy.
So there's so much work to be done, so much manipulation. He's getting his property logged right now to create savanna type environments, which is going to be badass, man.
Damn.
Rolling a fire through that.
That's crazy.
Hunter Podcast is brought to you by Deer Grow.
Man, hard to believe, but Deer Grow has been the sponsor that's been there since the beginning of the Hunter Podcast. Back in 2021, I think that they were the only partner that we had, but it's such a cornerstone brand and set of products for our food plot strategy throughout the year.
No doubt. And it seems like we used to have an off season, but not so much anymore. It's like when the hunting season ends, it really rolls right into food plot season, habitat projects, all of the above. And the Plot Start and Plot Boost have been there since the very beginning. That's a cornerstone for all of our plots. The Plot Start goes on at the beginning, Plot Boost goes on midway through. And since they came out with all of the fertilizers, that gets mixed in with the Plot Boost application as well. And I can't believe the results that we've been getting out of that.
Yeah, it's been awesome. Like I said, it's all the work now that really produces the results in the fall. So right now, anyone listening to the Hunter Podcast can use code HUNTER, HUNTR, for 15% off any of the products at deergrow.com.
Better food plots, bigger deer.
Yeah, I mean, that early successional type stuff is tough, and you got to stay on it, you know. And that's I think the big thing that's the coolest thing about what we're talking about here is, like, obviously for most of us we're talking about this because we want better deer hunting, right? But like the amount of species that then benefits by taking it back to early successional habitat is crazy. Like, you're gonna have better turkey nesting, you know, you're gonna have better forage for rabbits. You know, the list goes on. You might have quail, you might have grouse. Like,
it's not to interrupt your thought, but
no,
it's
I don't
like
have one.
we forget that, you know, I forget exact numbers, so I'm going to with a broad brush here. Like 60 to 70% of wildlife needs the successional young forest environments, man. And if we're not going to log, we need to use fire. If we're not going to use fire, we need to use herbicide. We need to figure out something to replace what's occurring on the landscape, and that is no management. Everything is starting to become so mature, and we're still wanting the same results of what it used to be, but we keep hitting roadblocks or the uncomfortable feeling to doing X, Y, and Z. Like, how do we achieve bigger deer in your guys' case? You know, if we're not going to log or we're not going to burn.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing. Like, even on my Kentucky place, like, again, most of the time I don't have open ground to work with. I did in this case, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to put all this food in. I'm going to put beans here, I'm going to put clover and alfalfa here, I'm going to put corn here. Like, I'm going to do all of that, and it's going to be a mecca. And like, there definitely are more deer and there are more bucks on that property than there ever been, but they don't stick, right? Like, they just leave. And it's because if you look at like the woodlots that I have, it's like there's no real browse, like they haven't been managed, like the timber's not great from a bedding or a food standpoint.
And not much value there either, right? In the timber,
not much timber value. So it's like, there's a lot of work to be done there that I'm like, we got to do something.
Yeah. And I don't mean to pivot a little bit, and I hope you guys, if you want to keep talking about fire,
no, we're fine.
But like the timber management is so, I mean, we need to promote the living snot out of timber management. Mm-hmm. You know, we need to prop up. That's like what Cody and I were talking about. Like, we created this gift for grouse, and it's like, you know, we need to prop up this industry for the betterment of conservation for wildlife. I mean, we need to prop up the forester community.
Yeah.
I mean, what they do for conservation, the logger, the log truck driver, the paper mill worker, the furniture maker. Like, Jared, and you too, Jeremy, your guys are the millennial generation, right?
Yeah.
Somewhere around there. Yep.
Yeah. So, I mean, as a whole, your generation's going to IKEA instead of the Amish furniture maker.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know, that affects market.
Absolutely.
That affects so much stuff. And we're having so many mills, paper mills and logging companies going under because of there's no, the antis are a big problem, but it's not the problem.
Well, tariffs are killing us right now.
Yeah, tariffs type stuff. There was a big company in Virginia. I just found it out yesterday. Who's the biggest supplier in Virginia of white oak? Done.
Wow.
What's that do for wildlife, man?
Wow.
You know, it's like, I got a stat here that I have written down. I wanted to share with you. According to the Hardwood Federation from 2022 to 2024, hardwood exports fell roughly 20%, which is roughly $600-something million.
Jeez.
Hardwood log exports declined 11%, 209 mil. From 2022 to 2024, think about this, 40,000 jobs in the logging industry gone.
Huh.
Wow.
You know, and that includes foresters, that includes logging companies.
Why is that, Eric? I had no idea any of that was happening.
Well, it's the 2020 of the COVID year, man. I tell you what, I mean, everybody, the hardwood industry couldn't have been any better, right?
Yeah.
So it was explained to me, and this is not the cause, okay, but it's one of the causes. Mills and companies were, they expanded a little bit, got some loans.
Yep.
Now that the industry is kind of leveled out, things are not getting paid. And again, it's a grain of sand on the beach of why.
So is that just a short-term blip then? I mean, what does that look like over a broader scale?
Just a massive
unless
decline.
we see, I don't know. I don't know the answer, and I wish I could explain it to you, but it is. It's like species like the rough grouse, man. And not to get on that soapbox, but I'm going to. How is this species going? Young forest that needs young forest.
No.
Like we know more about wildlife management than ever before.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, you could agree with that.
Yep.
And yet we're letting a species on our watch disappear because we're afraid to upset the 20% of the population who's against logging.
Mm-hmm.
We don't want to hear from them. Cody and I, we created this billboard campaign, and we have billboard up in Virginia. It says logging equals healthy wildlife, healthy forest. And it's amazing. It's been up since December, and we had hardly zero complaints about it. Nobody's complaining about it. We're promoting the logging industry.
Yeah.
And it's just, we're so afraid to talk about that subject of logging and the beneficial of it.
Are we? Who's offended by logging?
I mean, tree huggers for one. Like there are people, there are tree huggers still to this day who do not want you to cut a tree. Period.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cutting trees is murder.
Yeah.
No different than the PETA side.
Here's the thing with the logging aspect of it is that I said this same thing, and I'm going to butcher it, but I was a keynote speaker at a logging banquet the other day, and I told those people about the anti-loggers. It's like you can't convince how'd it go? You can't convince a fly or a bee that it tastes good.
Yeah.
Like there's going to be some people that you can't convince.
No.
Yeah.
You can't. So it's at 60 to 70% of the population that don't have an opinion. Those are the people that we need to reach about forest ecology and how logging is so beneficial and fire is so beneficial for wildlife.
I wouldn't think it would be that hard. Like you friggin' wave some money in front of their face. Like they'll cut out any tree they got.
Well, I guess part of me is wondering around
Most
that.
people seem like they're just getting taken advantage of by loggers.
Yeah, I'd be curious to see your take on it, Eric. Is like, what about, let's call it the mismanagement of our forest. Not in every case, but
that's what I see more of in Ohio is they go in and they hack the timber.
Yeah, so I was gonna say, let me look at mine. Like I've got 28 acres here in the mountain, right? Not a ton to make an impression on, but like literally I could count the number of oaks left on that property with two hands, right? Everything else is just junk, tulip, poplar, twisted elm, whatever. Now for me personally, I can go in there with the chainsaw and I could mow it down. I can know to create early successional habitat and leave those oaks or whatever, and that's it. And it would probably achieve my goals. When I moved in there almost 10 years ago now, that was the last time I saw rough grouse on that property 10 years ago, and it was probably cut 7 to 8 years before that. Right. So it was at the end of I was starting to get into the pole timber stages and things like that. It wasn't favorable to grouse, basically, is what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
But because they mismanaged or miscut that, right, whatever they did, said, hey, 15-inch DBH and up, cut it all out. Now it's like nobody will touch that with a 10-foot pole. Like I'm going to have to do it myself or pay somebody.
That's right.
To set that timber back because they mismanaged it when they cut it at that point.
Yeah.
And I assume we're seeing that across the country. Like
100%.
I know Ben Rising, who's a forester, not far from you, right? Ben is the first person to tell me, he's like, man, it's been a while since I've stepped on a good property to selectively cut and manage for habitat and for timber. because
Yeah.
people just have done it so wrong for so long. Like, I mean, we've been cutting timber in this country for 250 years or more.
Yeah, it's it's high grade now and
That's
all
it.
this other
That's
stuff, and
exactly
it's
what it
bad.
is.
That's where, and it's so frustrating. It's like you could sit there and promote rough grouse management, which plug in any species that needs young forest, like white-tailed deer is rough grouse.
Yep.
Excuse me, and like your paper mills, they're gone.
Yeah.
Like they're gone.
Yeah.
So in Ohio, it's not feasible to come in there and promote, hey, rough grouse management when there is no paper mill to do a chip cut, a really great clear cut, a right way of doing rough grouse management or any wildlife species.
Yeah.
Going in there, it's like, where do you put the product? Because we could sit there and promote forestry, we can promote this, and if there is, like, what do you do with the product? What if everybody does buy into this?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, let's manage for, healthy forest, healthy ecosystem, forest ecosystems. I'm on. Well, where do we put the product?
Yeah. They just they just did a 350 acre chip cut next to my Ohio farm.
Excellent.
Why did they do that? Do you know?
That's just what that timber company does. That's all I've ever seen them do is I mean, and obviously they cut logs off.
So
of it
chip
too,
cut means
down to the dirt.
So they took every tree off.
Every tree. There's not a tree left on.
What do we think about that as a management practice? Is that a good thing?
I am in not all cases, but most cases, especially when it comes to rough grouse, 100%.
Yeah.
And why is that? What's the?
It's a renewal.
Complete regeneration, right?
Yeah, that when you go in there and chip cut, and it is like moonscape.
Yep.
You can't be afraid to see what you see there, number one.
Yep.
Okay? You're doing it's a management tool. If we're going to want to be managers, we got to look at every aspect of it and put emotions aside. You're a scientist, you're a biologist, you're looking at it going, hey, this is a management decision. Don't be afraid to see what you see. So what it is like, it is nothing but that woods that is air quote gone, it's still alive, gentlemen. That is still alive. And the amount of growth that you're going to get, the energy from those trees that are no longer there from that root system, it's like mineral stumps. It's this. You're creating high stem density where non-consumptive species like your songbirds and all those species are really going to, and it's funny, as it grows, you got different species and different species and different species, so then you start completely over again.
Let me ask you this, Eric. From you're obviously removing some like mid-story, like potential, like say younger oaks, like a 10, 15-year-old oak tree that you might leave in a select cut, but you're taking in a chip cut. Is it a good decision from a timber value standpoint as well, or is it solely management focused?
See, when I do stuff, it's just
it's wildlife.
It's wildlife.
Okay.
And to leave a tree here, to leave a tree there, and when you have that early successional young forest starting to come, those are raptor perches.
Yeah.
Say that again.
Raptor perches.
Raptor perches for
like a hawk or whatever is coming down and plucking out your grouse or your rabbits.
Yeah, that's where your hawks.
Yep.
Barred owls.
Yep.
Great horned owls.
Yep. Kestrels.
Your hawks. Hawk species. Those poults are going. Turkey poults are going to get nabbed.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to limit any type of predation as much as possible.
Okay.
So
and then how long, I guess, Eric? Because like my problem, if I have a problem with those chip cuts, is like I don't see any continued management of them. I just see them like hands off, and at some point that becomes whatever 14-foot tall pole timber and just like nothingness.
Yeah, that's the other thing. If you choose to do any type of cut, like I talked to a gentleman today who's really thinking about having his property logged. And I won't say his name, but you guys know who he is. He lives in Pennsylvania. He has property in Ohio. But anyway, what's that?
Nothing.
Okay.
I just snickered.
It's not me.
No. But anyway.
I was like, okay, I know him.
Yeah. So anyway, he called today. He had a logging company that was logging near his home, and those people stopped at his house. So he was actually considering logging his place. He called me and goes, "What's your opinion on that?" And my first thing was, hey, you do do what you want, you do what you need to do. It's less work for you going in there with chainsaws and doing wildlife cuts and all this stuff. But it's the invasive, the invasive work that you're going to have to start doing.
Yep.
And right away, when you do clear cuts, we don't live in the 80s and 90s anymore where you do a cut and all of a sudden you get this beautiful regenerating ground. No, we got stilt grass, we got
multiflora,
we got buckthorn.
It almost seems, Eric, like you got to put, if you're gonna do timber work, like if you got to push that out 2-3 years and just start with the invasives now.
Preach it.
That's where we're at with. So we're going through a bunch of the equip application stuff in multiple states, and it's like the first 2-3 years is just like invasives, and then at the end of it, all right, maybe we'll consider doing a cutting.
Yeah, the invasives of what we have anymore. I mean, you log a piece of property, and it's just like within months, it seems like you got stilt grass.
Yeah,
and I know that like the rough grouse projects, True Rough Grouse Society projects. Not all of them, but the ones that I know, they'll make sure that the loggers change their boots, the skidders are power washed, the bulldozer are power washed before they step foot on that project.
Yeah,
but yeah, it's amazing. It's like the wildlife, the species. How do I say this without being Mr. Doom and Gloom? Because that's not my intention, because that's what I'm known to be. No, it's just like wildlife species as a whole, when it comes to management, give me a species that is in better shape than 20 years ago. Go.
Yeah.
Is deer better off than 20 years ago?
No.
Probably not.
No.
Turkeys surely are not.
No. Rough grouse?
No.
No. Waterfowl?
I don't know.
No. You got AI right now? Avian influenza?
Mm-hmm.
You got wetlands being destroyed. I mean, it's crazy because of, again, we know more about wildlife management than ever before, and we're allowing this stuff to happen.
I feel like the only thing that might be, and again, it's regional, would be there definitely are some substantial black bear populations in areas that I think may be better than the 90s.
Yeah, but yeah, you can argue that both
ways. But I think that they. Yeah, and in a lot of areas, it's just because they favor some mature, like here in Pennsylvania, like I see them benefiting off of mature forest, and mast more than anything.
Yeah,
I guess in fairness, deer are doing better in some areas, but it's mainly
we're talking as like
as a whole.
As a whole, yeah.
Meaning, and I'm not saying that deer are dying, that's not what I'm trying to say. But look at the issues.
I just think,
how about that?
It just
seems the issues that a lot of wildlife species are dealing with today than 20 years ago.
Right.
Like, look at the rough grouse. It's like when Cody and I started to tackle this, be advocates of that species. Well, it's like, okay, we just have to convince people to log, right?
Mm-hmm.
Back the forestry community, promote logging, easy peasy.
Yeah.
No, because it's where do we put the product? Well, the forestry industry is suffering. How do we fix that? Then we have to address this issue and address this issue. And we're like, oh my God, why do we just stick with deer? It was like,
it seems like, unfortunately, like wildlife is just always secondary. Like, even though for us, I mean, it is a primary, but even in those conversations, it's like, well, I want to, promote timber value and have better wildlife. And like, and we're on the far wildlife end of it. Everybody else is just like, I just want to make money. You know what I mean?
Even the federal government, like I've talked to a lot of people in like northern Minnesota, in the UP of Michigan and stuff, and first they'll talk about the wolves, but a big part of it is like they stop cutting in a lot of those big national forest type areas, and therefore like there's not as good a habitat, like the recruitment rate for fawns and stuff is not nearly as good, and obviously with the wolves on top of it, it's even worse, right?
Yeah, and they did it originally not because it benefited the wildlife.
No, because they made money.
Because they made money.
The market was for it.
And the circumstances just happened to help wildlife, and now that they don't,
completely a byproduct.
You're better off to have like a data center put in there than a clear cut. Yeah, it's not good for wildlife.
Yeah,
it's just. But you know what? I have this quote that I keep going to, and it should be for all of us, and it was a quote by Ronald Reagan. And of course, he was talking about something totally different. And he actually said this quote when after the Challenger blew up in '86, I believe it was. And I actually have it written down, and it's on my desk. And it says, "Give me a challenge, and I'll meet it with joy."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's where you two guys come in with your platform. Like you guys have, and I don't mean to preach at you, but you guys have a platform, man. You have such a big voice, and I prop you up high for that. But when it comes to the conservation, I know you guys talk a lot about, and it's no offense, do not take this the wrong way. You talk about baiting, you talk about crossbows, you talk about that. And it's like you guys have the platform. Like when someone, just think, when you two guys, okay, again, this is out of respect.
Sure.
Okay. You two guys might be the only voice that a non-consumptive person hears about anything conservation. You know what I mean? And if they hear divisive,
Yeah.
because baiting is divisive, you know?
Yep.
Crossbows can be divisive. And again, out of respect, I'm not
No, we get it.
downplay you guys. But when you guys like talk about stuff, like that might be the only time somebody gets to hear, you know, yeah, it's like being a religious person. Christianity should just spill off of somebody that you don't have to tell them they're a Christian.
Yeah.
That might be the only time that person, you are the Bible, you are this, and the same thing. You can play it for wildlife. You two guys, man, and like what Cody and I are doing, we're a grain of sand on the beach compared to what you guys do. And it's like, man, you have the opportunity to seize and promote this great movement. Not to sound like a kook, excuse me. But it's like, you guys are it, man.
Well, so here I hear that for sure. And here is like the problem that I see with it. And it's an unfortunate reality, I think, for all of us, you guys included, is like, it seems like you can't out-manage yourself in terms of habitat management. You can't manage your way out of bad, like, hunting regulation. And so it almost seems irrelevant. Like, dude, I battle on a daily basis, like all this work that I'm doing in Ohio. I'm like, what's the point? I'm like, my neighbors are going to just dump a corn pile and shoot the biggest 4-year-old off the place anyways. So I'm like, so what are we doing? So it almost,
you have to take the eye off of your main goal, which is like deer. Like maybe you do all this timber work and you have better turkey hunting.
I don't give a shit about that.
I know, but that's the issue.
I see the frustration, not to interrupt either one of you. It's just, I get it. Because I remember being exactly where you are, Jared. I mean, I was killing big deer and managing for them was my life. I mean, it almost ruined my marriage, my connection with my son, because I was traveling so much, consulting everywhere, trying to get everybody else big deer and stuff. And it's like, that limiting factor, you can create that Garden of Eden, if you will. And when your neighbors or the state is your stumbling block, they're the stick in your bicycle spoke, right? It's like, what do you do, man? You know the answer. Everybody could have this. All you got to do is this, and this. And you just keep following that. And it just, man, I remember losing sleep and being sick over it. And finally, it's just like, for me, it was doing something different. And it sucked. I hated it because I felt like a failure. I felt like I didn't win, and it sucked. It's either I sell what I have and find that magical spot where everybody else is mentally where I'm at, and where's that, and how much does that cost, right? So it's either you know what you could produce, and you can't judge your accomplishments based on what could be. Like if you do end up, like all you could kill is a 4-year-old, and you know damn well that you can kill a 5 or 6-year-old but if that is all you can't downplay your ability of being a great deer manager or a great deer hunter. You can't.
Sure.
You can't allow that outside noise, because I know either one of you guys' capabilities can produce big giant deer, but don't allow that outside noise downplay what could You see what I'm saying?
I do.
Now,
well, we're all bound by or have like a glass ceiling of like the regulations that the state puts forth, and then at the macro level, and then at the micro level, what your neighbors will allow you to will allow to survive. Basically, is how you put it.
I mean, you'll go nuts trying to produce that 5-6-year-old, and it's just not going to happen. Like my place where I'm at right now, where I'm being recorded here, I'm surrounded by outfitters. I got a great, incredible managed piece of property that I'm on, 113 acres of incredibleness, and 2s and 3s, boys.
Yeah.
2s and 3s, in Coshocton County.
Yeah.
In Coshocton County, that's what I get.
Mm-hmm.
Like really, that's why I got a bird dog named Waylon, and I go bird hunting.
Yeah.
Because I'll go nuts. I'll find myself in depression. Let's call it what it is.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think that's the uphill battle. I mean, it's kind of weird in that like the habitat side or the food plot side or anything. Sure, you're doing it for what you hope is a result that meets your expectations, but I don't know anymore. I just like that stuff, and I like seeing deer. And sure, it's depressing when like you grow or you have a deer that's whatever 3 or 4 and it's got all the potential in the world, and then it disappears, or it gets shot or whatever. But
yeah,
I don't know. Then I just kind of reset and who's next, type of thing.
Right? Yeah. Oh yeah, you got to make hay, man, with it, right?
Wow.
You gotta find that way to get through all the the insanity of whitetail deer hunting in the state of Ohio, for example.
Oh, so where are you at with that, Eric? Are you still do you still enjoy to deer hunt? I mean, do you go out of state to hunt?
I tell you what, I'll be honest with you, and I think it's the way I'm hunting, okay? Because it got lazy for me. Because I was getting so frustrated.
Yeah.
Again, I was where you guys are, my goal was, a very mature deer.
Yep.
Had a lot of pressure on me because I was a consultant, right? You can't manage someone else's property unless you kill your own big deer. That was crazy.
That's it.
Yeah, it was insanity. Anyway, so I got so burnt out from it trying and being frustrated that I became lazy with it. So I was hunting in a box blind over a feeder.
Yeah.
I became that hunter, right or wrong.
Why do you say that's lazy, Eric? Or I mean, that's
because of what? Yeah, please. I'm glad you brought that up. That's not. I'm not calling anybody lazy, but with that hunts like that, what I used to do compared to now, to me, it's lazy.
Sure.
Follow?
Yeah.
It's like what I was doing before versus you know what?
I don't think it's lazy. I think it's like my neighbors are killing all the deer this way anyways. Like if I can kill them this way, that this must be the way.
Yeah. I mean, I just found myself like, I just didn't want to put effort into it. Like I'm just done. I burnt myself out of it. You know, it was my career. It's my this and that and the pressure. And so I started bird hunting and I found this new love. Like, oh my God, the poorest guy out there thinks that it's only about deer hunting, but I did hunt. Cody, he was always on me, like, you need to get back to your roots. And he was like, come on down. And finally I went down there with him and muzzleloaded hunt. And dude, got up in a ladder stand over a clear cut that nice, beautiful, crisp morning. Yeah. Oh, it was like the old days, man. It was like, oh my God, I shot a couple does and I was jacked. It was like 1980, 1990 hunting again. It was so much fun. Like I'm all about it.
Yeah.
Like I am all about it.
Yeah.
It was like a reset. I needed to do that, instead of climbing up in a box and hunting over a feeder and then bitching about people hunting over a feeder.
Yeah. Well, you got to be realistic too because we combat that insanity too, where it's like, why can't I? It's this or it's that. But it's like, there's just a reality to what a neighborhood can offer you. And like, the neighbors are killing deer. If they're dead, they're not there. You're not, maybe once every 5-10 years, something happens and, one slips through kind of a thing. But our answer to that was like, go where they are basically. So that's why we bought this farm in Illinois. But it's not like, the perfect scenario where it's like we live in Iowa and we just get home from work and go out and work on my 100 acres or whatever. We have to travel and put a lot of effort into that. And so it's a different thing, but we kind of take them as they as we can.
Yeah, I'm all about traveling anymore, and that is not everybody's cup of tea. Like if I'm going to go, like I'm to the point now, and again, right or wrong, you can be judgmental all you want. Like I'm sitting in a box blind in Ohio. I'm not having fun. I'm 52. I got health issues that, I can't climb up a tree like, I used to, up ladder sticks and all this other stuff. I can't do that. So it's like, you know what? But I still enjoy deer hunting. So, I remember this year I'm sitting in a box blind. I'm texting my buddies from Texas, like, how much is a good quality management hunt?
Yeah.
Yeah. I hate to be that guy. I don't want to be that guy, but at the same time, man, I love deer hunting.
Yeah.
I'm not enjoying what I'm doing right now. Not at all.
Yeah.
I think there's different stages in it. Like I'm probably in the stage that you were, whatever, 8 or 9 years ago, Eric, when you had Hunter, and it's like my kids are 10 and 13 now. Like they're at that peak stage of enjoyable to hunt with, basically.
Oh, yeah.
And so like as much as like we have the ability to travel, like we talked about the other day, like I get to Illinois once this season to hunt, maybe 2 or 3 times a season to do work.
Yeah.
I got to I told you this morning, like I'm selling Ohio, and it's because I got there twice. I hunted 2 days last year, the entire season.
Yeah.
It's my farm. Nobody else is hunting it.
Yeah.
It's like, I didn't get there. And that's because my kids are busy with sports and I want to be present, and then when we do get to hunt, I'm taking them, and we might take a trip. We went to Kansas last year and stuff, but like
and Illinois.
Yeah.
It's just a lot of spots to do, a lot of things to do, a lot of kids, a lot of businesses to run.
I think I'm staring in the face the age and family dynamic of like, I need a streamlined, simpler approach to things.
Yeah.
But I also don't want turnkey easy. Like I don't want to just be like, I don't utilize a property. I just hunt it and I'm only there one time a year. And like, that doesn't make sense to me.
I know in my case, like my son, he's 23 and he's a fireman and EMT fireman. And he loves to hunt, but he's not a hunter.
Yeah.
Okay. He grew up with me. He was hunting.
Yeah.
But if it's not for me, he's not you guys.
Yeah.
He's not going to hunt. Okay.
Yep.
He loves hunting. And I remember, I think he was probably, I don't know. I think it was just after he graduated high school. We were sitting in a piece of property in Muskingum County, 600 acres of paradise. And we're sitting in a box blind overlooking a feeder. And he's on his phone. I'm on my phone. And I'm like, what are we doing? Like, get off your phone. You're setting a bad example. Take my phone off and he's on. And he kind of notices it, puts his phone down. And he leans over to me and goes, are you having fun? And of course, I'm like, well, are you?
Yeah.
And he goes, no, I asked you first. I said, well, I'm with you. And he goes, no, that's not what I'm asking. Are you having fun? I said, honestly, no. He goes, I hate this. This is stupid.
Yeah.
He goes, let's just travel and go on hunts.
Yeah.
He goes, I don't want to be here. I'm here for you and you're here for me. Let's
Yeah,
just get out of here.
Yeah.
So we got out.
You finally broke the cycle.
Yeah. We're like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
Like,
What part of that, Eric, do you think was not enjoyable for you guys? Was it the feeder and the block spine setting, or
Yes.
yeah?
Like, what are we doing?
Yep.
Yeah. We're waiting.
I agree.
We're waiting for a dream that it's not going to happen.
And even if it does happen, it's not playing out like you want it to happen.
No. And again, everybody do you. I'm not criticizing.
Well, dude, that is the situation, unfortunately, that I feel like we're in Ohio. Is like you have no choice. Like that is the way to kill them, and it's not fun. It's not fun for anybody. Yeah. It's just like guys kill them that way, and you're like, I guess this is what we have to do now. So let's just dump as much corn as we can and go wait in that thing.
Yeah, it's and the thing is I can criticize the person that baits because I bait.
Sure,
I bait,
us too. Yeah.
Do I wish it would go away? Absolutely, but I'm not. But I'm not going to promote that. That's just my opinion, because I look at it at a different pair of goggles. Because if we you know, you guys have heard this before, so I'll keep it short. I mean, if you was a ban baiting, ban crossbows, my question to anybody is, okay, that's fine. How do you replace the revenue that's going to be lost for Pittman Robertson? That's going to be lost in the local economy. How do you replace those funds, the money of conservation?
I look at it through a management first, through wildlife first.
Yeah, see,
like that at the timber.
You don't have that revenue
Right.
coming in,
Mm-hmm.
that trumps the other, unfortunately, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But neither here or there.
Yeah.
But I remember in the 90s, even the late 90s, like ground blinds, pop-up blinds and ground blinds and even box blinds. I remember we used to make fun of people.
I still do.
What are you doing?
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing? It was like you made fun of those people jokingly. Like, what? Now you
It's
drive
it.
the
They're
landscape
everywhere.
and that's all there is.
Yeah.
Tumbleweed of Ohio.
I mean, we took away so to the point of like what you and Hunter were saying, for I don't know, 3, 4, 5 years. Like I could basically say on opening day youth season or opening day of turkey season, my kids would kill a tom. Almost a guarantee, right? Set up a blind, put out decoys. I knew where they were, call them in, kill them. Like clockwork, one of those 2 days.
Yeah.
It was fun, right? We had fun. You know, it was cool hearing the bird, and sometimes my dad would be in there with us. And then either last year or 2 years ago, I said, they've been successful, right? I'm taking that away.
Mm-hmm.
We'll carry decoys with us, no blind, run and gun. We'll walk in, no plans of where we're necessarily going. We'll hoot owl or whatever, crow call. Where are they at? Go get them. And if they pivot on us, we get up, circle around them, get on them again. And just that was the process. And the first year we did that, both boys missed their first turkey.
Yeah.
And we had a blast. It was awesome. It's the coolest thing ever. Like, I think Harlan was, 8 at the time. We repositioned 4 times on these 2 gobblers and called them back in to 30 yards, and he just whiffs. And he's so disappointed, and I'm just laughing hysterically. I'm like, dude, how cool was that? 4 different times we repositioned on these birds, and finally, at 11 o'clock, we grind all morning. Yeah. And you missed. He's like, but I missed. I'm like, I know. I was like, let's go get breakfast.
That's awesome.
That's it. Yeah. And I think turkey hunting lets you have that cool flexibility in it and stuff. And it's just like, I was just at NWTF. It's like, man, you couldn't have jammed more people into the operator.
I heard.
Could not have jammed more people. And I think it's because it's like, dude, a 2-year-old turkey is a 2-year-old turkey. Like, the egos are checked at the door, basically. Like, okay, maybe if you reap or you better call or whatever. But on the deer side, it's extremely difficult to have that, because that 4 or 5-year-old buck is like, it's a diamond in a many acre area type of thing.
Yeah, and that's why, when my midlife crisis thing was picking up a gun and with a dog and going grouse hunting. And that's, I mean, look what it created. And it's funny because I remember taking my son. We went up to Michigan.
Yep.
And he was like, "What time we gotta get up?" I'm like, "I don't know, 8." He goes, "What, really?" I said, "Well, yeah, it's a gentleman's thing. You don't hunt birds right off the roost.
No.
It's a gentleman." And he goes, "All right." So I said, "We're gonna make some breakfast and all this stuff, and we're gonna be camping out. We're gonna have some fun." He goes, "Well, what camo do I need to get?" I'm like, "No, dude, flannel and some jeans."
Yeah,
bro.
dude, we're good.
And he was like, "What?" And he's like, "Yeah." And then we're walking, we're talking, we're laughing, we're joking, throwing shit at each other, and just having a gay old time and missing birds. And he was like, "This
is
what
it.
it's about.
This is it.
This is it." And that's why I encourage. I know deer is a lot to everybody, and I get it. I understand it. Been there. But when you get to experience, like you had fun with the turkey, the story that you just said, man, it's like being able to jump in a truck, travel to Michigan, travel to South Dakota, travel to Iowa, Pennsylvania, Virginia and stuff and do some bird hunting, I mean, try it, man. I'm telling you, it'll open up your world.
Dude,
It is just phenomenal.
yeah.
And then you'll get to deal with all those things that's wrong with it.
Yeah. There's still shit wrong there.
It is interesting though that like those like hunting birds in general, and any bird, you know what I mean, waterfowl, upland bird, or turkeys, like it's all more fun. Yeah. Like if you just put it out and said, hey, what are fun things to do? Like, well, it's just like, granted, there's different things about every one of those, but in terms of like, you get to talk and it's not as serious. It's not like, it's not as soul crushing, you know?
Yeah. No, it's not.
Deer hunting.
I went to South Dakota this year or last year for the first time to sharptail hunt.
Yep.
I didn't even know what a sharptail was other than through college books.
Right?
Yeah. Went there, didn't know if my dog was going to do any good and stuff. We trained and stuff, got him in shape, went out there, and I did not need that drug in my arm. Oh my God, that's all I want to do now. Oh my God, guys, that open country, your mind goes, it goes creative and daydream, how the Indians seen it, and all this other stuff, and you're walking around, it's like the most phenomenal habitat and these birds, and it's like your dog, it's just like, oh my God, this is, I have not done this because of deer.
Yeah, deer. Hunter Podcast is brought to you by Pure Wildlife Blends.
Man, what a critical component just to everything that we talk about, especially during these off-season months. You know, we're looking at and developing these different farms and trying to improve them from year to year. And whether that's food plots or different switch screenings or bedding areas, they all require a dedicated and thoughtful seed blend.
Yeah, so obviously Pure Wildlife Blends being Jeff and Jen Sturgis, we've built a great relationship with those guys. And really what we're seeing is a true testament to them picking the best varieties for these mixes. In fact, we're leaning on clover a lot more. The perennial plot power that those guys do was one of the best clover plots I've ever seen. From December to March, we had more deer in a single clover plot than I've ever seen. A lot of these sheds coming from that plot or right around it. Again, just a true testament to what these guys are creating at Pure Wildlife Blends.
No doubt. And so if you guys are looking for just a workhorse seed that the deer will really use the way that you want them to use it, you can use promo code HUNTER, HUNTR, for a discount on the Pure Wildlife Blends website. Eric, where did your initial love of deer hunting come from? Do you know what I mean? Like, do you not like? I mean, you can say who or whatever, but like, did you feel at a certain point or at any point like that was in your blood as much as like when you fell in love with bird hunting? Was it the same thing, or were you like it was bird hunting all along?
No, deer was my life. I mean, growing up. Yeah. I grew up in the times where, there was the days of seeing a deer was. Remember hearing stories, we saw a deer and it made the paper. We were past that, in the 80s. Mm-hmm. I started deer hunting, I think in maybe been 13, 14 years old, I just had a support system around me. My brother was my hero. He was a big bow hunter and I wanted to be like him and stuff. But my buddies, we were all big Fred Bear people, Leonard Lee Rue. I remember reading books and stuff and all that stuff, and had the posters on my wall of Denise Parker, which was a bow shooter back in the 80s, an Olympic gold medal person and stuff. And I remember we were so poor that my buddy and I bought a dozen XXX 75s. Yep. We bought a dozen and we hey, I'm going to go deer hunt tonight. I need the quiver.
Yeah, give it to me.
Mm-hmm. Give it to me. And I remember him shooting a squirrel one time and busting an arrow and we almost getting a fist fight. Thunderhead, broadheads.
Oh, yeah.
These Hoyt bows that were 15 foot long and stuff, game getter bows. And oh my God, it was just, you could see in my face, it was everything. Right. And then I went to college and became a little bit more serious. And then the QDM philosophy was introduced to me, and oh my God, that world blew up, right? That part of the time period was, I think that the ultimate high, when I was in my, I think that was probably late 90s, early 2000s. I was at my peak of everything. Yeah. My world evolved around being in a deer stand, Yeah. And then, yeah, then it kind of just started down. I think the pressure of being a consultant.
It spoiled somewhere along the way.
Yeah,
I
it
remember.
spoiled along the way. And I think, not to sound like a candy ass here, but I think the pressure of, I was listening to outside noise and not letting my work speak for me. The quality of, like, why do I have to kill a deer? My clients are killing close to 200-inch whitetail. Why do I have to kill one? But I was listening to the outside noise.
Sure.
Like I had to do it. And the pressure. And tell you a quick story. I'm being very open right now. I remember having 5 opportunity as shooters, one hunt. And the pressure was so much for me. None of them happened. And I had deer, all 5 of those shooters were just inside bow range, outside bow range. And I remember calling my buddy and I had tears in my eyes. Here, I'm a grown ass man. I was calling him to vent. And I was like, why is this not happening? And this is bullshit and all this stuff. And he was like, listen to yourself.
Yeah.
I don't mean to swear, but grow the F up.
Yeah.
And I was like, you're right. Like, what am I doing here, man? I'm crying up in a deer stand because I didn't kill a big deer.
Yeah.
Because of Joe Smo consulting this. Like, what am I doing?
Yeah.
Dude, I yearn for those simpler times again. Like just, like you said, just having bows and being out and like, man, the number of times I just went to a stand to like kill a deer with my bow, like a deer, like first deer that I saw or first legal buck that I saw and the failures that I had with it. Like there was a pure time of like just no pressure. Not that there's pressure now, but there's expectations for sure. And there's goals that you have. Like I'm not saying don't mature as a hunter and want to achieve bigger goals and stuff. But yeah, I mean, holy cow, to look at it now and think of like, we talk about all the time, there's not many places that I hunt that I don't know what deer are there, right? I'm not surprised by like anything anymore. And that sucks. For sure.
I will say, I mean, you tell me if I'm wrong, but we have pretty intentionally, or we've tried to be pretty intentional about like, yes, there is a goal, and there like it's a healthy amount of pressure. We definitely, I don't feel outside pressure. I mean, direct pressure. I mean, it's hard not to compare yourself. Sometimes be like, whoever shot a big buck, like, so there's that, but everybody feels that.
I've lived through that, and I'm over that at this point. I like to think I've matured to the point where like I don't give a shit what people kill. Yeah,
like when we go, especially to Illinois, the trips that we get to do together, I think we're pretty good about like really, especially taking it all in, soaking it, like just like, dude, like I'll never forget just sitting by the barns and like breaking out that grill for the first time, like and those kind of things. Granted, we did kill stuff, and so we were successful, so that helps. Yeah. But
I think I missed the and I've been close, and I don't know. I always dance around it. I'm like the times that were pure, and I'm not saying like just shoot whatever you see, but like to sit in a tree stand over a scrape
and
or a rub line, have no idea what's coming. Like just daydreaming of that buck coming over the hill. And then when you see it, it's nothing that you dream, but like now you're in the moment, and it's like there he is, right? That feeling,
dude. Here, can I one up you?
Yeah.
How about even seeing it, and in hindsight realizing it was a 3-year-old that I killed? At the time, it was the biggest deer I'd ever seen in my life. I remember looking at that thing that I would look at now and be like,
Well, that's what I'm saying.
But back then I was like, oh my God, look at that thing.
That's the purity or the time frame of being naive, right? Because that's what it was.
Yeah.
That I want back.
Yeah.
To a point.
Well, I tell you what, not to interrupt that, it's just like the one farm, that 600-acre farm in Muskingum County, we don't run cameras. It's talking about that's.
I know, dude. I'm this close. I've done it.
You're in that box blind. Granted, it's a box blind over a food plot with a feeder.
But you don't know.
Put that aside. Put that on the shelf. You don't know.
Yeah.
I got to find fun. And it's like, it kills me not to know what is going on.
To a point. But there's an excitement there, right?
Cameras. What's that?
There's an excitement, though.
Oh, my God. Yeah.
Yeah.
So like
Dude, it's
me,
fun.
I got to find some type of fun with
it's
it.
out
Like
there.
to go back,
It's
Yeah.
out there.
let's not run cameras, boys.
It's out there. We can get it. You and I get it. Like when we go to the North Dakota
Yeah.
granted, we don't get to do that. But even when I go with Lucas out there, like we look at some pictures, but I
Mm-hmm.
don't know. Like it just kind of, and he runs some cameras, but not, and so there's definitely an element of surprise, and I get that almost on a yearly basis now.
Yeah. I ran SD cameras
Kansas
on farms
dude,
for
I had no idea what we were looking for.
a year plus. Yeah, I like Kansas for that reason. It's like I'm just here.
We get some of it. They don't let you run cameras on public land out there anymore. So
Yeah. Well, it's just like, with the back to the love of deer hunting and stuff. I still enjoy it. And again, if I offended anybody by whatever I said, it wasn't my
No.
intention. But at the same time, it is what it is, and got a little open with you guys there. But but it's like, why keep doing the same old crazy thing and trying to just whatever?
If
And
you're
it's
not
like
having
there
fun.
is more to discover out there. And if anybody is going through what we're talking about, you got a decision to make. It's like one of my goals in life now is I want to kill every subspecies of mule deer. I want to start to Canada and go all the way down to Sonora.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I like that.
Right? Like and that's going to cost money and stuff, like, but you know what? That's going to be fun, because you should have seen. I wish you guys would have seen each other, the back and forth about the North Dakota hunt. Because I like the trips I go out west to the bird hunt or Michigan or whatever. Has nothing to do with the hunting. It's the preparation, getting ready. When you get there, the drive out there, you're laughing, talking nonstop. You get there, you're camping, you're doing whatever, or staring at staying at an Airbnb. It's the hunt. That's it. That is a drug for me anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think that is what, because man, we're just, as a community, right? And this is a broad statement, but as a deer hunting community, especially, like, I feel like we're just crushing the ceiling. Like we're just like, okay, well, we got cell cams, we've got private property, this is locked down, nobody hunts this, I never go on it, right? And it's like we're just smashing our heads off of this thing, trying to like think that we're enjoying it. And I would assume that if you talk to most people, they'll lie to you and they'll say, yeah, man, I love deer hunting, I love it, I'm ate up with it, right? And to a point, I think they have convinced themselves that they love it. But most of those people I know grew up really loving deer hunting and were completely naive to what they were doing. They messed up. They hunted the wrong winds. They built 2x4 tree stands. Like, they did all the things wrong, but that's what made them love deer hunting. And to a point now where I think that they believe that they love it, but it's for a completely different reason, right? They just have put so much into it that they have to love it, right? They're like, I've invested everything into this thing, my time, my effort, money, and like, so I have to love it. The result I have to embrace, but I guarantee it's a completely different feeling than what they had when they didn't know anything that we were doing, and that 2-year-old 8-point came across the hill and they shot it and they were like, holy shit, that just happened. Just completely different feelings. I'm not saying that one is better than the other necessarily, but there was a purity in one, and I don't think they have that purity now.
Yeah, that's a great point.
It's not pressure necessarily, but it's an expectation that they have manifested.
Well, you can
I agree.
endure so much pressure to the point where it's not fun anymore. I mean, that's what even Eric was saying earlier.
Yeah. There's a there's a danger in thinking like, and again, it's not a bad thing. It's your own personal goals, but like, we all have stepped on a property where we're like, we know every single deer that is on this, every buck at least. We know every buck that's on this property. When we see him, we'll be like, that's so-and-so, or and instantly that's a shooter or that's not a shooter. There's a satisfaction in knowing that you did the right thing to put yourself in the position to kill the deer that you came in there doing. But there's also almost a letdown in the reality of like, yep, I knew he was going to do it. I set this thing up like almost like a no surprise. He did the thing that I thought he was going to do. And this is not a knock to like Likoski, but like it's Likoski calling his shot on whatever deer he wants on his farm because it's set up to do the thing.
Yeah.
And like, where do you go from there?
Yeah. I wish back, like, I was doing 20 seminars a year back in the day.
Mhm.
I was traveling. I was on a plane doing seminars and local and all that stuff. And I wish it's the old adage, I wish you knew what you knew now, right?
I know.
The terminology and the message that I would say to people now, starting out with true QDM, not this, I don't even know what we're doing now.
Yeah, I don't know.
True QDM, always remember that feeling when you first let that first year and a half go.
Mm-hmm.
Because it wasn't that long ago, back in the late 90s, early 2000s, when QDM was introduced to the world, if you will, at least in the Midwest.
Yep.
I remember that first 2 year or that first year and a half.
Mm-hmm.
I was,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
did it.
Yeah.
I was like so jacked, and you didn't have cell phones then, so you couldn't like text your buddy like, look what I did. I'm a Billy badass now. You suck because you got a fork horn. And then I remember that feeling, that first 2-year-old.
Mm-hmm.
I remember I can take you that stand.
Yep.
And I remember having my release on. I had the release. I'm like, screw it. No, don't do it. 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 And that 2 year, all the time in the world, man. I had all the time in the world to kill this deer. And
Mm-hmm.
and then when it went back, oh my God, what a feeling.
Yeah.
What a feeling it was. And now it's like I see a 4-year-old and it's like I look up from my phone.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like,
I
what
know
am I
them. I've
doing?
seen them. I've been by it. Yeah. I mean, the first time I could take you to the exact tree stand, the first time I messed up and didn't pass them. And as soon as I shot the one, a bigger one showed. And I was like, shit.
Yeah.
Screw
Johnny Law. I'm taking that.
Yeah. Yeah, Dad, do you still have a tag?
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, those are the things. So there's this, yeah. And again, I anybody can take a step. The hardest part, and I mean, we get it all the time, whether we talk about baiting or whatever, they're like, okay, well, set an example. You guys don't bait. And I'm like, I wish it was that simple. Because I cannot bait, but then I see no deer. They're all on my neighbor's feeders, right? It takes a landscape level effort of no baiting for us all to not do it and see results, right? Me not baiting just means I'm not going to see any deer. That's all it means.
Yeah.
So that level of intensity is extremely difficult. Now, the one thing you can do, and we've been dancing around, is cameras, right? Because if I don't run cameras, the deer are still there, right? They're still doing the thing, whether if you're in a bait state or not a bait state, it doesn't matter. So you don't run camera. Now, you don't know exactly. You're going to have to hunt. You're going to have to scout. You're going to have to do things that we used to have to do.
Any of them are going to put you at a disadvantage. With the camera, it's like a race. You know what I mean? It's like,
I don't think so.
I know
the deer's still there. If your habitat's the best, your food plots are the best, or whatever.
They're there until they get killed by your neighbor on opening day.
Well, yeah, but
because he's got cameras.
I'm just saying you got to go hunt. You got to go sit more. You got to be in the woods more.
You're actually both right.
Yeah,
that's the dilemma.
I'm more right though. No,
right.
I'm just kidding.
What's that?
Well,
you see what I'm saying? Though?
I said, I'm more right.
You may have to sit 7 days in a row, and 5 of those may have been complete wastes.
Well, what I'm saying though is we are put in a situation by the people who are managing our state, right? And so whether that means that we have to put out corn piles if we want to compete, you also have to put out sow cameras if you want to compete. That temptation deer was a perfect example of that this year. Granted, I was like 15 minutes too late, but the only reason we both shot that deer and killed that deer is because of
you sat in a spot that, I completely agree in that scenario, but that deer still would have died anyways, regardless if you sat there or not with a cell camera.
Yeah. Say it again. Sorry.
Like your neighbor still would have killed the deer, whether you had a camera out or not.
Yeah, but he had a camera out also, and that is also a factor.
Yeah, but I'm just saying if you didn't have the camera, he still would have killed the deer.
But if he didn't have the camera, he may not have.
I agree.
So what I'm saying is we're in a situation where, you both have to use them. It's because it's a race. It's a race, dude. The deer are going to die. It's just who can kill them, who can kill them faster.
So I guess where I'm at, and this is a tough pill to swallow, is that maybe it is a race. You just have to be okay with losing it.
Yeah, I'm not.
See?
Mom, Dad, don't fight.
I think I'm okay. I guess maybe it's
Daddy didn't mean to hit Mommy.
maybe it's maturity, right? Though, but I'm just like, I'm okay if I lose the race.
Yeah, no, it's like when I brought that up, it was just I'm trying to find that little spark.
Yeah, me too.
Make it interesting again. And again, that's just me. I mean, like I said, people will be critical of it and stuff like that. It's like, no, man, do you, whatever. But I'm just where I'm at. And then the other thing too is, doing whitetail deer. I mean, that was 365 days a year of
Yeah, it's
managed
exhausting.
clients and then working for the state. And then, there in the mid 2000s, it was CWD, and all I was doing, I remember walking into work and there was totes, those Walmart totes, the gray totes. There was 8 of them, and I was the only one there. 8 of them, all full of deer heads. It took me 8 hours to take lymph nodes and brain stems
How
out.
fun.
So it was Clorox and death, man. Okay, and it's like somebody walks up to me and goes, "Look at the deer." I just want to slap the phone out of their hand.
Yeah, I'm tired of it.
It's
Yeah.
So it's like I got burnt out because of a lot of other reasons other than the way I was hunting or
Yeah, you're just
critical of other
surrounded
people.
by it all the time.
Yeah, yep. And that's why it's like getting into the bird hunting, like grouse. It's new. Remember, it's like Cody and I talk about, like on our podcast and stuff. Remember the first days? Remember the days when Quality Whitetails, when it was QDMA and when you got the magazine?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I remember being so upset. Like my boss would get it, and I call my wife, say, did I get it? She goes, no. And I'm like, what the hell? And you couldn't wait to open that up and learn and go to those conventions and be a part of something and just the knowledge. And it was so fulfilling.
Mm-hmm.
Now that's gone.
Yeah, it's gone.
And that's why it's like picking up something new, like grouse. I'm learning about grouse. Not that I didn't know anything about grouse because of my background, but at the same time, I didn't know anything about grouse.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm learning about forest ecology. I'm resetting myself to the days of the QDM philosophy.
Yeah.
It's so, I'm just learning and talking to different people. Cody and I have different people on our podcast, and it's like, I try to try my best. I'm not good at shutting up and just stop and listening to what they have to say about the species. That it's like like the old days of QDM, learning about a whitetail deer and all that. It's resetting, it's regenerating.
Mine was trapping here recently. Haven't trapped in 15 plus years, and went out and trapped, caught a fox, caught a bobcat, and I'm like, holy shit, this is amazing. And it's like it's nothing. Like
no, it's not nothing. It's cool. It's pretty cool.
But it's a needle. It was a needle in the vein because I'm like, I was successful, and I did it with the kids, and so it was like now I'm like, if anything, I'm mad because I just had to travel for 14 days, so I had to pull all my traps.
Yeah,
and I'm like, I'm running out of seasons. By the time this drops, season's over. No more trapping.
Yeah,
right. And so I'm like,
mine is nice to know. Like, not. I mean, I don't know. It only comes to mind since you kind of bring it up. It's like, it's nice that I can kind of keep trapping there. I would love to be doing it now. Mm-hmm. I'm enjoying the deer hunting a lot. And I'm like, it's nice to know that I could still enjoy trapping. Like if it came down
to it. It's there.
Yeah.
It's there.
Yeah. Because I enjoyed it once before,
there.
And part of it was like it was for my property, not from it is from a deer hunting mindset of management, but I'm like, my Kentucky farm is not that good right now. I'm working towards it. And so I'm like, okay, it's not the greatest deer hunting. It's great turkey hunting. So we'll take advantage of that. And then I'm like, I see all these coyotes. I see some bobcats. I'm like, pretty cool trapping property. Started trapping on it, was successful. So I'm like, deep down, I'm just trying to find other things that I can do with this property while right now the deer hunting is not great.
Yeah.
It's a low deer population.
Yeah.
Just what it is. So you got to find other things to benefit.
Dude, trapping coyotes is freaking awesome. It's cool.
Oh, it's fun.
And
dude.
What an accomplishment.
Hell yeah, dude.
I mean, catching coyotes in Illinois and like Casey Shootman. You guys
oh my God. Yeah. Casey's a freaking beast.
He's incredible, right?
Yeah.
But he goes to Texas, he goes to Alabama, and he does that and stuff, and it's like different coyotes are different, harder. And he would know more about it, but to catch a coyote in Ohio or Pennsylvania is not like Texas.
No.
I think he would agree. He might not, but he's a perfect example. He's a deer guy. Deer manager, still loves it.
Yep.
But I tell you what, if you pulled that away out of his life,
he trapped all the time.
That, or it's who he is.
Yeah.
Right. It's who he is. That's the same thing a lot with deer people. I think if you were to, why people are afraid to dip their toe into something else or try to regenerate the love of hunting altogether, is that it's who they are. And if you take that away, it's like, who am I?
Mm-hmm.
at the same time. It's like it's a mental thing too. I mean, deer is like the QDM philosophy. It was who I was.
Yeah.
You know, the QDMA was who I was.
Yeah.
And it sucked going to something new, but my God, it's just incredible, and I love it.
Fulfilling.
Love it.
Oh, it's awesome, man. No, I'm excited that you're in a good place with it. It's fun to catch up with you on it.
Oh, absolutely, guys. I just I'm glad to be. You hear it from everybody, and no, I appreciate you guys having me on.
First of all, appreciate the burn stuff. That's something we've been back and forth on a lot, and I know that's your wheelhouse, and it's cool. But I also appreciate you keeping us in line on our platform and how to use it, because we get in the weeds a lot, as we just did right there a little bit. But yeah, I think it's an important thing. I mean, you know, this part of the year especially is like we're obviously really passionate about the habitat side of things, and you know, oftentimes we get stuck on the micro level of stuff, you know, on a property level, but like the landscape appeal and understanding and even to your point, you know, from like a logging and habitat side, it's like there is a large chunk of people that are, you know, they could go either direction, you know, in terms of what they think of that stuff. And so, you know, hopefully they understand the greater good of all wildlife species in a timber harvest and stuff. And we've talked about it a lot just because we've done some harvest on our properties. But yeah, I hope that if they come across it, they understand it's like, hey, we're not just doing this to make money and cut trees. It's for, if anything, it is for the habitat as much as it is to potentially make money off of it from a timber side. So
Yeah. Yep.
Well, cool. Well, before I let you go, any other new stuff for people to check out on you and Cody from the grouse side? Like what's the newest destination?
I appreciate it. Yeah. So Cody and I, we started this thing called Give for Grouse.
Mm-hmm.
And what it is, it's in the name, you know, give the, you know, grouse a voice, give them your time, etc. But the biggest thing, it's about teaching people about forest ecology and not being afraid to see what they see and stuff. And there's more to it than that. And I appreciate everybody, if everybody can go to the, you know, our social media, Give for Grouse, Instagram, Facebook, etc. We do have a podcast and stuff like that called Give for Grouse Podcast. And we even get these little cool stickers, man.
I know.
With the chainsaw.
I love those.
Dude, I got to get one of those.
Those are sick.
Oh, yeah. We got.
Have you dug up a still sponsorship yet?
No.
Come on.
No. You know what's funny is that we have this, and it's funny. People are like, could you have it holding a husky?
Oh, get out of here.
It's like,
yeah.
That's not the point of it.
I would have said something derogative there, but I'm better than that. So.
Oh, no. What you got?
No. I don't want to get canceled.
Oh, yeah. Oh, we're past that now.
Yeah. Well.
No, so we got a lot of great things going. I mean, it's we do have a billboard campaign going on.
That's awesome.
Money. We do have a billboard and all that stuff. And no, give us a follow. It's not just all about grouse. It's about forest ecology, and love to get the opportunity to come on down the road and have my my cohort Cody.
Yeah.
He's very well spoken on the subject, and I like to ramble. So
yeah, well, we'll have to bring him on the next one.
Yep.
Hunter Podcast is brought to you by HHA.
Man, just another great partner. HHA sites have been on our bows for damn near a decade. They're reliable and durable. And when we were looking to make that change from a multi-pin to a single pin, it was HHA that was there for us.
That's what did it. I think we were dealing with some target panic years ago, or whatever issues we have. We just needed to simplify the process and lean into equipment that works. And for us, like you said, almost 10 years ago, that was the HHA sites.
Yeah, and I mean, we've been through a bunch of different models, the Tetras, the Nitrix, to now Nitrix Pro.
Yep.
Have the single pin, or I've got the X2, which actually has 2 pins on it. We're using Picatinny mounts on our Hoyt bows. And with today's model of bow and the speed that you're putting out, these single pin adjustable type sights are just a no-brainer for anyone looking to simplify their whitetail hunting.
That's right. They've got something for everybody. So right now, you can go to hhasports.com or to your local HHA dealer to check out any of these awesome sites.
Erich Long, everyone.
Very cool.
Yeah, we always have fun with Eric.
Boy, I feel like I didn't take my eyes off the screen for 2 hours. Hey, there you are.
Hey, hi.
Hi.
How are you? He's captivating like that.
He
He'll
is
pull you right in.
Yeah. He's easy to connect with. You can you feel Eric. Yeah.
It's funny, man, because he and I met like in the heat of QDMA days, and reflecting back, I know he did a little bit there, but it's like, I don't know. I had, in hindsight, I have mixed feelings about how QDMA was. Like the potential and the mindset of QDM and everything about it was like, it was awesome. The organization itself, in terms of like almost, I kind of said it this morning about Safari Club, is like, at the time, I felt very fish out of water because I was like, I didn't own land. Came from a poor family. Like I was a huge deer hunter and a deer nut, but like I was a nobody. Like I didn't have anything. I hunted permission or public, and so I found myself trying to fit into that group, but like probably never really did. And by the time I probably did, it was on its way out at that point.
Mm-hmm.
But the concepts and the management side of things was critical to the foundation of, and Eric and I text all the time. I'm like, I don't know what we called this that we're all doing now. Like it's not QDM by any means, because a lot of us don't even kill does anymore. It's like, I don't know what we call this management.
Well, what do you mean? Like,
so QDM was foundationally based on healthy habitats, and balanced age structures and sex ratios, which I would assume is not what we have right now. Most people are not killing enough does to have a balanced sex ratio. I would say that we're better on the age structure for sure, and habitat to a point, although everybody's always looking for shortcuts with food plots and feeding per se. Obviously, we've been hammering the timber management side because it's so critical.
Yep.
And it has fallen off, I think, a little bit.
Well, I think a lot of the principles are probably the same. It's just a lot of people are limited by time, or they want the fastest, quickest, cheapest way to get something done, kind of thing. Or
I think a lot of people are wrapped up in killing a buck and not necessarily paying attention to the doe side, and maybe even killing like a big buck versus
an older buck.
Yeah, for a long time there was, man, you killed a 6-year-old buck. It didn't matter. I mean, it did and it didn't matter what it scored. It was like,
yeah,
you did it. You were the pinnacle of the mountain. And now it's like, I don't know. You're looking for.
Yeah, guys falling back on antlers a little bit more.
Falling back on antlers. Score has definitely superseded age to a point.
Yeah.
You're passing that 6-year-old 130-inch 8-point to kill that 5-year-old 160-inch buck. Both mature, but yeah. So I don't know what we call it. That's he and I have kind of gone back and forth. I don't want to call it trophy management. I don't want to be in that category necessarily, but it's something else at this point.
Big buck management.
It's pretty much what it is, and the problem being big buck is subjective. BB, BBD.
Yeah.
Yep. Big button buck down.
Button buck down.
So yeah, I don't know. It's kind of an ongoing discussion of what you call what we're doing.
Well, I think it's good. It's cool to see Eric like on the other side of, admittedly, I think he had some sort of midlife.
I get it, man.
Deal with the deer hunting, like, because so much of his identity was wrapped up in that, and when he wasn't able to achieve his goals, not necessarily for lack of trying, or it's just like circumstance, I think it sounded like he had to do some soul searching and
It's cool for him to open up on that, because I was there. He was, so what do you say? He was 53? Is he 53 now? 52. So he's pretty much 10 years ahead of me. And so I was there probably as a early to mid 20-year-old kid, and Eric was there as a early to mid 30-year-old. So he was like in the heat of consulting, as I was just saying, like I didn't fit into the group. Like I was passionate about it. I read everything. I tried to learn everything. I had no application of it, right? I was 24 years old. He was in the heat of it and applying it. I had no idea, and I get it, because even as the 20-year-old kid who didn't fit in, dude, I'd never killed a buck over 3 years old. And here I am with guys talking about we only kill 5 and 6-year-old bucks. And I'm like, holy shit, I don't even know if I've ever seen a 5 or 6-year-old buck.
Yeah.
And so I felt the pressure, and I was not consulting at that time. I can't imagine the pressure he felt, because he was in the heat of it, telling people how to manage and kill older age bucks.
Sure. Well, you have a spectrum, I think, of consultants. On one hand, you have guys that are big buck killers. I won't name them just for the sake of leaving somebody out, but it's you got guys that have a wall full of giants, and they'll show you, here's how you kill giants.
Got to have them to kill them, though.
And then, and then on the other side, you have like managers who are like, this is how you improve habitat, you know, and these are the things that you need to be. And there's some probably people that overlap, you know, and
I've got no problem with the big buck killers, but I can't do that unless they're there.
That's right.
That was the problem I had.
Everybody's got something different, you know what I mean? It's like,
that was my big thing when I started consulting in my late 20s and 30s is I followed a lot of people who were big buck killers, killed way more deer than I did, bigger deer than I've ever killed, still probably to this day. But they were lecturing people on how to kill these deer that they didn't exist.
right.
They're like, if you do this, you will kill booners. And I'm like, there are no booners.
Well,
They're not here.
Yeah, and you have to almost go back and look at Barry Wenzel's one that comes to mind. Like, I think it's right in his book or in one of the main, which he was one of the original like outdoor hunting big buck influencers.
Great
He's
Pennsylvania hunter, picked up, moved to Iowa because that's where they were.
Yeah, he basically like right out of the gate is like, first and foremost, hunt unpressured deer. This is like the key to all of what I'm about to say.
Agree.
You know,
We're
and
on the same page.
There's probably something like, you know, whether they said it or it was unspoken, it was like, listen, you can't kill them if they're not there, kind of a thing.
Yeah, it's been the model from the get-go is like you could be there were some
Which is
really good Pennsylvania deer hunters that couldn't kill a deer bigger than a 2-year-old because they weren't there.
Look at, Rising obviously comes to mind. Andre DeQuisto is another one, a standout where it's like, dude probably doesn't know anything about timber management, you know, or on the wildlife side, you know, but the freaking dude knows how to kill a big buck.
If they're there, he can kill them.
Yeah.
The goal, and it has been forever, is like QDM and QDMA was to create more opportunities to kill big deer.
Yeah.
On the other side were these guys who were just out there hunting big deer. They didn't grow them. They didn't produce them. They just found them.
Dude, nobody grew them back in the day. Like that came with QDMA or like it was around that time. Everybody that was an inspiration for us, they just killed them. Like they were out there.
Winky and Grant Woods were two of the first guys who were like, we're going to grow them, then kill them.
Agreed.
Yeah, and so it was a very interesting time frame going through
which
that.
Which was cool, though. I mean, that really resonated with me. Is I had a family property that I could go out and try some of the stuff on. I was like 15, 20 years old, so I didn't have nearly the capacity.
Sure.
But I still fell in love with that part of it. And so now we're left with like QDMA kind of died, and
the like you're saying, the principles
are still there. We all learned a lot.
Habitat, Food Plot, Craig Harper, you know, all of those guys, Carl Miller, like that whole thing still is there and resonates.
Yeah,
it's just we're applying it, and now we're also like, cool, we grew them, now we got to kill them.
Yeah, well, and unfortunately, a lot of us are in a situation where it's like, okay, we understand the principles, we've applied a lot of the principles, but the technology and the mismanagement has outpaced us.
Yeah,
and
so the ceiling has come down.
The ceiling's come down. So now we're in this like weird eddy of like trying to figure out how to either raise the bar on the, you know, with limitations on technologies and or fall in love with something else in this spectrum.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a weird spot, man, and
go to where it is possible because there are still areas, you know.
There are still areas, and you know maybe there'll be forever areas, or maybe they'll be good for a while and then revert.
It'll be ever evolving areas. I think it's not one area forever. Never has been.
Well, I think it's also we have to get out of the mindset that, and for most of us, it's not an every year thing. Like maybe every 3 years there's that special deer. You know. Highly doubt you get into areas, regardless of how much time and money and effort you put in, that it's realistic to have it every year. Maybe mature deer, but super big special deer, unless you are a Lee or whoever, and you have or Josh, Baltimore's got tons of land and opportunities. I mean,
how hard do you want to work for it? How much are you willing to give?
It takes work and money to give. That's the opportunity. That's where it's not opportunity that yields, it's hard work that yields opportunity, because hard work leads to money, money yields opportunity. That's what it all ties together.
It didn't quite track with you. Say
hard work. So, it's
not always hard work. I mean, some people,
money yields opportunity.
Yeah.
Not opportunity doesn't yield opportunity. Money yields opportunity. How you get to that
however
money.
you find it. I mean, guys have access to lots of land that didn't work for it,
Yep.
frankly, and is fine. Just I'm one of it. I mean, it's a family situation, and and other people just earn it from nothing. So I mean, however you come by it, it's just I don't know.
It usually starts with money.
Situation.
It seems
money
like
money almost never hurts your situation when it comes to finding and getting on big bucks. We can agree on that, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a weird concept anymore because, like you said, that whole bucket of guys, the Wenzels of the world, the Winter LaRues, these guys who just like found big bucks and killed them. Like now it's like you got to have money to get on.
Yeah, none of those guys had money.
No, they just were good at what they did. They were woodsmen.
They were just out there.
And they had connections
for
probably,
the killing.
And they found them and then they killed them.
Uh-huh.
Now it's like...
That was cool.
Yeah, very rarely do you find one that somebody else hasn't already got on.
Right.
Yeah. Is what it is. That's just how it is. Every time, blind squirrel finds an acorn every once in a while.
There's still cool opportunities out there.
Yep. Just got to seize them, find them, get after them, work hard. They'll do it.
They're out there.
Make friends with a rich guy.
Doesn't hurt.
That doesn't hurt. So.
Yeah. Marry one. Better what?
Yeah.
You know what's really funny, dude? We can wrap it up with this. Do you know who keeps coming across my Instagram feed that I find so funny?
Yeah.
And my wife would like judge me if she saw this, but like the gay dude who's soliciting, he's like, I got a sweet boat. I got all this woods for a man to hunt.
Yeah. Yes. I know
He
exactly
cracks me up. He's like, I got all this woods to hunt.
Yeah.
No man to share it with.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Big pond for bass fishing.
There's deer all over the place out here. Yeah, that's hilarious. That's really funny. Yeah, it's I don't know. I think I feel slightly that there's like a bit of a tide turn here. And I don't know where it's going to go yet, but I do think that people are realizing like, pushing, banging your head off the ceiling I was talking about, like there isn't just happiness right on the other side. Like you may get there and it's like you're in the same situation you are. So whether people are looking for different things, or different types of hunting, but they're trying different weapons, going back to traditional. Like there's a lot of guys that are going back to recurve and trad bows. There's a lot of guys who are not using cameras. There's a lot of guys who are, trying to book a trip out of state and just wing it and find happiness. So there's for sure something there that is changing a little bit. I'm not saying guys aren't still going to push the envelope as high as they can, but I definitely think that there's a whole group of people that are like, okay.
Well, we found it. Like you got to a point where a lot of guys were killing a lot of big bucks very consistently.
And nobody cared.
Well, right. So you get to that point where, okay, so that's what it is. That's the pinnacle of it. And I'm never going to get there is probably what most people say. It's like, well, I still want to have fun with this. So what's that look like?
Yeah, agree. Cool. Well, we appreciate Erich coming on to the podcast. Again, one of the most frequented guests, I assume, at this point. And check out what him and Cody are doing for Give for Grouse. We appreciate everybody listening, and we will catch you next week.
Later.
Take me